True.
Whoa!
Hello.
Hello. We're here. Right?
Indeed.
Yeah,
Welcome,
indeed.
everybody.
I'm joining from the car.
Carew, you need to change your username if that's what's going to happen. You have to be
All right, fair enough.
or something like that. You have
Oh,
to.
sure.
Everybody needs to have an on-the-move profile image. I think mine's just a cat, so I need to change it to like. Well, you know what, Dorkus, you can create one for me of just like me looking like I'm running or something. that would be cool. Yeah, you got all the. Oh. Okay, you guys take the intro. I'm gonna go and open the door.
Oh, yeah, I didn't.
Well, today we have many special topics to cover. I think we're going to be covering an Amala video that I struggled to get through because of a very dense topic. And then we've got the bloodbath controversy. Trump said a thing. The media responded as they do. Others have covered it. We're going to cover it. And then Neuralink stuff. Apparently it's real. It's here. Human testing has begun. But also, I've been working hard on something that I hope we can all enjoy.
Nice. I enjoy the tease. Now I'm very curious.
Yes.
I'm assuming you're going to save it for later, so that okay, fine. Well, I'll just be waiting in anticipation.
Yes.
Whenever we get the requisite people on here able to participate.
Yeah, we do need a Hydra. That'll be an extra clue.
Oh.
We do need one of those. Yeah, sorry about that. We still haven't had dinner. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, we have to do catch up though. Remember that thing? We still do that. If there's anything that is not going to be part of the main thing, we talk about the muse and everything over here. So is there anything you guys want to do? Otherwise, we'll get right into the Nickelodeon things. Some people in chat said what if thoughts on Destiny versus Finkelstein, things like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a tough debate to get through. It's interesting. There's actual academics and then internet personalities and perhaps crazy people involved in that one debate. So yeah, it was interesting. It's like 5 hours. So yeah, I've seen a bunch of different takes on it. It seems to be lighting everything on fire, even though it's like a 5-hour debate. So yeah, I have thoughts on it, but I think most people have kind of skewed takes on it. It seems like they're kind of going in with their ideological lens, if you will. But yeah, I don't know. Did anyone else have any thoughts on that?
I haven't looked at it.
I'd rather mainline toxic sludge.
I can understand why. Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe I'm a Destiny simp, but I heard a whole bunch of people say that he just got like destroyed, and I don't know. I think that's just kind of the framing of it. I could see the other side saying like that he kicked ass. I don't know. I don't know that there were any winners in that debate, but yeah, that might have just been me.
England represent.
Okay. What? I had things that was very important, like tips on cable management, guys. That's what I wanted to talk about. You know, me. That's my my main think for today is I'm still not set up.
You need a Batman.
True.
So does
It
it?
helps.
So you okay? At least it looks nice. It's not.
Yeah,
just like,
it's just paperweight. It's nothing. It's just a stupid
so it's not
charger.
It's not like this thing. I've just got Velcro everywhere. Yeah. So I've got these things, but I just don't know where to put everything, guys. But anyway, I guess nobody wants to help me with that, so it's fine.
Do you have a arm? Do you have a boom arm?
No, I need to get one because the one that I do have is the disc's too fat for it.
Oh. Oh, it can't clamp on it?
Yeah.
I was trying to understand what fat meant, but yeah, I got it.
Sorry, just body shaming my desk. But yeah, I have got 4 screens and 2 desks, and my husband has not let me live this down now because he's like, if there's any argument, he just goes, "You've got 4 screens and I've got 1." Ta-da! There you go. Well, you know what? I'll hang out on the Discord and try and do it at the same time. If cable manage while I'm talking to you guys. You guys will be my I don't know, my guide.
Distraction.
But are you going to diagram the cable management? Because
You know
then
what?
that would be like the ultimate one.
Should, Gray? You know what? You make a joke, but I actually really am tempted to draw it. I think, you know what? I should do that. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I won't do a stream or whatever, but I'll do it with friends.
My problem is this. My
There
headset.
he is. Yeah.
M-
Your
my
headset is
he-
wired.
Hi there.
Hey.
It's just really long, and because I'm
Mm.
constantly uncomfortable because I was
You move around.
COVID instead of getting spinal surgery, I just roll over and like I just pull at my head. I'm like, oh, too
Cable
low.
management is no joke. Now we might lose Charles because of cable management. I'm very happy that I brought it up. Okay, I wasn't gonna. I thought like, oh, these guys won't care, but it's like, you know, it's a very important issue.
Indeed.
Yeah.
To make my back feel less pain, I'm gonna rip my own head off.
There you go. That's a good
Accidentally, that is.
solution. So Dorkus, do you have any news, any catch-up things? Hydra usually has good ones, so we're looking for Hydra. Hydra, I'm glad you hopped in.
Oh yeah, I have some quick interesting stuff that can wait for later.
No, let's not wait for later. We are on catch-up.
Okay, very well. So I don't know if you guys are aware of something called the Battlefront 2 Collection has released recently. I don't know if anyone been following it, but as someone who's interested in game design, it's essentially a really good guide of what not to do when you re-release or remaster or port an old game, essentially to newer hardware. If anyone remembers it, the original Battlefront 2 was huge in like 2002 era. It's essentially the predecessor of to modern Battlefield and Battlefront games in a Star Wars setting. It was really cool. It was huge. Everybody loved it. The PC scene to this day is still very much alive with lots of mods and everything. A game from 2002. So it's kind of huge that it's still alive and kicking. The console one is long dead, of course, but that's more so the fault of the console than the game. And what happened is, oh my God, really? Carew. Is somebody in their infinite wisdom at the IP Holo decided that we are going to re-release it for modern hardware, to recapture the old nostalgia of playing the original. And what they did was they grabbed the original game files and decided to use AI to enhance all of the textures to 4K and then slap it out onto the market without thinking about anything else. They didn't even set up servers properly. Just to give you an example of how shit this thing was. So first of all, when you bought it, it cost $12 more than all of the originals combined. Instead of the original's 2 gigs and around 6 gigs, this was like 50 or 60 something gigabytes. And when you downloaded it and decided to play it, not only it had a bunch of missing features that was expected of a port, it only had 3 global servers for everyone. For all of multiplayer, each server being capable of holding 64 people each. So if you weren't in the first less than 200 people to log on, you couldn't play online. Get fucked. It was that bad. I don't know what they expected. And just to look into like the AI enhanced textures, even then they didn't even decide to see whether or not it's implemented well. Some of the areas look worse. Some of them look the exact same. And in the marketing, they used footage from an original 2002 mod to advertise their re-release, which is illegal, by the way. because that's not the finished product. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. I might be incorrect in that, but I think that counts as false advertising. Yeah, not really great. It's essentially, I could go on and on about this forever, because there are 3 more interesting things that I didn't mention. But if you want to,
Only 3?
yeah, if you want a good guide on what not to do when you re-release a game or you port it to a newer version, these people behind this particular project pretty much fucked up everything you could without just straight up being malicious. Like, it's about as incompetent as you can go without somebody purposefully sabotaging things. Really, it's terrible, because even if everything went according to plan, it would have been just a bunch of remember berries, of the original. But and that it's I'm not even gonna go into the fucking Lego textures and a bunch of new trash that they introduced, that they fucked up royally. That in so many things, they removed split screen co-op. Now they only have 2 split screens instead of 4, like the original. I don't know why the decision was made. Like, they arbitrarily fucked up a bunch of features too. And the best of all, the cherry on top, is that it just reminded people to go play the original, because it was objectively better in every way.
Plus more
except
than
frame rate on the old
play.
console, which people don't play multiplayer on anymore. So you can actually, the impact was that instead of the new one having a spike, it immediately fell to the depths of oblivion, and the old one became more popular because it reminded people of, hey, we have this already and it actually works. But yeah, that is the situation.
I'm still pissed off
basically.
that they even tried it, and I can't believe that server situation. That's just
Less than 200 slots. We not
for the
paying
whole
for.
world.
Yes.
That's insane.
Like, there may have been some areas where there are regional servers, but even then, just imagine less than 200 slots for the whole US would already be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, where I live in New York, 200 is not going to cut it.
It's just, and I don't even know what's going to come of the legal situations of them using mods, footage from player-developed mods of the original to advertise their new stuff.
Well,
that is not the same.
If it's similar to film licensing, they own the original IP, so they might be able to use, because the people that did the mods can't profit off of it.
Yes.
I don't know if it's the same, but there's some sort of precedent.
Yes, they would be allowed to put out footage from the mods in, like, hey, these are what our players did, for example. But the problem is that they advertise this as this is going to be in the product, and
right.
like, no, this already exists, and this is not what you are developing. Yeah, I don't even know what I would do if I was in the position of that mod creator. But yeah, it's what are you gonna do? Like,
you take it, you bend over and get wrecked, loser. You can't do anything about it. Not like you can sue them.
Yeah,
I mean, you could ask for a credit or something like that.
It's just the most royal way you could potentially fuck up a re-release is to have more people go back and play the original instead. It is the highest form of just most pathetic failure. It is terrible.
It's juxtaposed marketing for older stuff.
Yeah, basically. What if it was just all like a massive secret marketing move to market the original instead? Like, we need more people to play the original. How about we make a fake new one and make it as shit as possible, just to remind people how good the old one was?
Speaking of that mechanism, that's what happened with Avatar for me. I just went back to watching. I'd only watched a little bit of the first season, so I know it's not a relaunch.
Oh,
but
the show.
They're trying, the show. So like they're trying to. It is kind of a relaunch. It's a different, like, okay, go to this new live action thing. Go and watch it. That's what's cool about it. And then it's like, yeah, you know what's better? The anime.
Yeah.
That is like, I think the ratio is almost square to watch it, and it's old, and you're just like, cool, I'm happy with that. That's what I've done.
Wait, I'm sorry. This is completely irrelevant. Hydra, you're pretty up to date on the on our dictator from the Far East there.
Yeah,
Did Russia did they ever release the voting numbers? Because usually Putin.
sort of. There are some stats you
Hi,
can
Benjamin.
look up, but it doesn't look good. Like, I'm not gonna believe the 87% total
87's the
vote
number?
of Putin. Yeah, like this is after they killed the only popular opposition now. So,
Well,
it's and the only person really that made it into the what could be considered the final round, in my opinion, is a communist who was not going to get elected anyway. So it's, you couldn't have asked for like a better setup. But
doesn't he normally win like 95% of the vote though, or win?
it's really high. Like even in other places, it's even higher. Like you're gonna have 99.7% something in the occupied territories of the Donbass for his representatives or something like that. It's like less than 1% for opposition, and then you can see that there is a guy with a massive machine gun standing next to the voting booth. Yeah, like, you know. Or the vote is actually getting shredded or painted with some sort of paint in some leaked pictures. Again, those might not be legit, but the machine gun guards that are watching you vote literally are pretty legitimate. There are a lot of pictures like that out of that we can confirm are real. So it's honestly, I'm just still waiting about what the Freedom of Russia Legion is going to do. That second uprising that they are having, right? Well, it's not fair to call it a second uprising because it's not on the same scale as the Wagner Rebellion, but they got people in their own ground fucking them currently again.
Yeah, it made the news here in England that people were waiting in line for like hours at Russian embassies. I think it was Paris and Frankfurt. Maybe not Frankfurt. But there was they had footage of people, Russian citizens, waiting in very long lines outside of Russian embassies in Europe, and it was interesting.
Yeah, it's again, Navalny had a lot more support than people anticipated. Like, I myself was actually surprised about how many people came out for
the funeral, right?
For the funeral,
right?
Yeah. Although, again, the lack of Russian manpower at home to hold those masses back may be distorting our perception. But from what I've seen, the whole election was it was pretty apparent to almost everyone that it was a complete and utter fake shit show. But yes, it's just the fact that a bunch of Ukrainian and pro-Ukrainian groups, both within and outside of Russia, just timed all of their attacks and deep strikes into Russian territory on the election day, because it kind of breaks the system. The average Russian would be willing to let Putin do whatever he does because they kind of have unwritten deal going that essentially Putin is allowed to break all the rules of the democracy, be an evil, bloodthirsty dictator and autocrat and international aggressor and invader, and commit genocide or assist in genocide on occasion with some of his political allies in the Middle East, etc., or run terrible camps. As long as the average Russian person has a relatively normal life, not in the sense that they are not surveyed or anything, but in that they don't need to be scared of being mugged or murdered in the streets. They can relatively buy food. They can live in a house with maybe an outdoor toilet or no heating in some months, etc. But at least it's not relatively normal. But the fact that not only is this living standards already starting to be too high to be asked for, but that on the day of the election itself, you saw so many strikes from the by Putin proclaimed enemies of the state come into Russia and fuck up shit in Russian territory. That is essentially a showcase of he can't even keep up this very minimal deal of protecting people. Like, it's not, he doesn't even have the authority to protect those on sovereign Russian soil. Like, it's a show that his grasp is much weaker than you realize, that you can just go in hundreds of kilometers into the middle of Russia with some drones or even with partisans and blow shit up, and he can't stop it. It's not great. Like it was, even if you somehow weren't in doubt of his feeble hold when Wagner made it all the way almost to Moscow, and Putin's loyalists just let them pass at all checkpoints, basically, except for 2 helicopters shot down, and then they only turned around because somehow the retard at the head of the rebellion was convinced to stop it. If that wasn't enough, this is basically just another show that not even Moscow could be out of the surrounding area, of strategic strong points like refineries or something, or the oil industry. Not even those could be protected from strikes from a nation which has less than 10% of your air force and no navy. And they somehow sank some of your best ships and shot down some of your best planes. The ones that work, the ones that are fake, are of course not even being let in the war zone, even though the T-14 and the Su-57, the ones that are supposedly the best 5th gen equipment, that doesn't even work even on parades, they fail. And the cover of images that we have of them show that they are truly pathetic cardboard level constructions. Those on the paper look like the precise things you would need in a war zone like this, but they're not there. And they are not there because they cannot be used. And a weapon that cannot be used in a high stakes aggressive conflict is a useless weapon. But yeah,
It's a good paperweight.
yes, that is. It's a good thing to show for Putin to show off, like, hey, see, I modernized an army. I did something, or for people to march through Red Square on Victory Day. That's about as far as it goes. And I saw a question in the chat about, all the way, just to close this off quickly, and either microtransactions in this remake. No, as far as I know, I haven't seen any evidence. But again, I might just be blind.
Deal with it.
But that just means
for our 200 people.
Yeah,
193.
first 200 to enter doesn't need to pay for a microtransaction. I don't know. Honestly, it would have been just a final nail in the coffin. It would have been an absolute uproar if that happened. Yeah, that's about it. As to some quick things that happened. If anyone's interested in learning more, I'd be willing to show more in depth evidence, anything like that. But that's it for now, and I'll stop taking up your time.
I think it's fascinating that American media talks about how terrible Putin is for making his problems go away, but this affects me directly because I have to go back to the States at some point. Boeing, there was a whistleblower, and he specifically told a very close friend, if I commit suicide, I didn't do it. The guy was found dead from suicide a day later.
He had started he had started the deposition or something. Not deposition. Was it a deposition?
The interview or whatever, to give information on Boeing.
Yeah.
So you don't think he could have just been sad about how much harm he did to Boeing?
No. Boeing has a history of doing the most despicable corporate act and cheapening out on safety deliberately and trying to fuck over both customers and investors. So I'm honestly would not be surprised.
I can't wait to fly.
I wouldn't be surprised. Also, he drove to the deposition. He didn't drive. He didn't fly.
Right. That was pretty telling too. He drove like 2 days or something, right?
Yeah. That was part of it. He drove 2 days to go and do this. So and he did. So the theory or the arguments I've heard for it actually being just normal suicide is that no. Why would they not kill him before he did the deposition?
Couldn't get there in time, maybe. There are a lot of reasons. Even Boeing is just a corporation, not as powerful as people think they are. Sure, they are rich as hell, but their grasp isn't forever. They are limited by influence and distance, as most people are.
Yeah, I suppose. But there are others. There have been other whistleblowers that didn't die, so that was another argument.
Like the one about the cargo doors, for example. But was that a whistleblower? I don't even remember I think it was finally proven because some grandpa assembled it in their backyard, and then they finally managed to prove that the hinge was not working properly or something. And only then did Boeing pay up, I think, if I remember correctly. Like, they have a history of just the most egregious safety violations you can imagine on a fucking airplane, something that flies so high, so fast, so far. It's kind of but yeah, again, this
It's
is the
already
airline industry
scary that
where
it's
only
happening
have
at all, and then
yeah,
then,
you
then
have
you're making bad aircraft.
Yep.
and it's that you don't even have that much of a choice, because the airline industry is dominated by a couple of big boys who seem to have an agreement going in terms of how much they vary procedures, like getting on board an aircraft which is purposefully made inefficient just so you pay more.
Mm.
Any of the airlines could have chosen to have the more efficient procedure and become more popular, but they didn't, because for somehow competition is limited and stunted. It seems like they have a deal. At least that's just my opinion, but
Speaking of airlines, okay, if you're talking about safety, definitely biggest thing. But speaking of airlines, I saw a tweet or something that there's certain something called Kim Air, I think it is. They don't have lavatories on their airplanes, and they do short flights, but they don't have lavatories on there, so there's nowhere to go, and they're prosecuting this woman who actually basically went in a cup because she had no other choice. So it was like, what did you want me to do, go in my pants?
Yeah. What if what if something at the airport made me sick and it's only hitting me now? Like,
what?
What?
It doesn't make sense that
cat?
yeah, cat and another cat that
hey, we like that, okay?
he's going after his sister, so she's very upset because the desk is her territory. Axel, get a laugh. I don't know what they're called. Sim Air. Let me check it out.
My most disgusting customer service experience was with an American airline. Just like absolutely disgusting, where I was basically guilted into, like, they lost luggage and told me to just take it. And it was like such a bizarre thing that they were just like, yeah, well, eat shit. I was like, wait, you don't want a repeat customer? They obviously didn't say eat shit, but they were just like, don't you want to, because I can't get into specifics, but it was an American airline.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say which company, but it was an American airline.
I got a feeling I might know the one, but fair enough.
It's the
Yeah.
strongest opening hand in Texas Hold'em. It's
Sorry,
a
I'm
pair of
looking
faces.
Okay. I was looking at the
Lucy. Close.
What?
That is an
What
American
the-
airline.
what kind of cup? If it had a lid, that's fine. It was a coffee cup, so I think
Yo, a Stanley Cup. Pissing that.
It'll be warm forever.
Yeah, that would be kind of disturbing.
Oh god. Thank you for subscribing, Mr. Toka. Welcome to the colony.
Colony.
Welcome to the colony is kitty stuff. Thinkers. What are thinkers? They are also thinkers. I think viewers are thinkers. So welcome to the thinkers. Not my Stanley. So you wouldn't give up your Stanley. Okay. Okay, so there's that. Aircraft. What else was happening? I've got bookmarks here that's going to relate to what we're talking about before.
Sorry, I deviated.
It's fine. I could deviate further if you're interested and talk about my bad customer service experiences with EA and Origin if you're interested,
It's up half asleep.
We can always derail further.
Yeah.
The Stanley would be. I still haven't seen June 2. Damn it.
No,
what's
likewise.
happening? Yeah, well, we've got Doomer's back. He's making videos.
It's
cool.
just.
I think. Yeah.
No, I was just, keeping sound going while you were looking through things. It can
Thank
end.
you
Trust
very
me.
much. Okay, if that is it from catch up, yeah, then let's get going into the actual topics. Hold on. There we go. It's a very heavy topic. Should we do this one first?
Well, it's the freshest one, isn't it?
Yeah. So, what does everyone know? I haven't watched it. Okay, so what happened? The context of this: the Nickelodeon. There's a new docu-series on Max now called Quiet on Set or something, or Quiet on Set, and it's like a little expose of things we kind of knew about Nickelodeon, but we also get to hear a lot more in depth, apparently. I haven't seen it, but I've seen quite an in-depth coverage from Amala, or Amala, I always say Amala. So I'm gonna watch that whenever I get access to it, but I know the gist of it, and I just thought that was going to give us the question of child stars. Should they be a thing?
I watched 20 minutes, got really angry, and had to take a break. Then I watched
Really?
another 25 minutes, got really angry, had to take a break. Fuck Hollywood.
So it's like a rage game, basically.
Sorry,
except,
language.
with movie form.
Yeah,
So do we just go with AI child actors from here on out?
Maybe. I don't know. Well, look, so the danger, what happened, Hydra, I don't know, do you know anything about Nickelodeon's past? Or
I am completely unaware and uneducated in this topic, so bring me up to speed if you wish.
There's a guy, Dan Schneider, who essentially is to child television as Weinstein is to filmmaking. Very similar paths, except Weinstein liked him a little bit older, it seems.
Weinstein's
is-
associated with like plants, where this guy's associated with feet. So yeah, but
Oh.
equally bad.
That is
Yeah.
highly unfortunate. That doesn't sound healthy.
To elaborate, Mr. Finch, the sheer evil that is allowed to happen in Hollywood because of self-serving individuals who care more about money and other things, who are the people who are willing to put children in horrible, horrific situations and just give it a pass. It's gross and doesn't feel good to hear those things. And it's important to hear so that people know what's going on and what is allowed so that change can happen. But it's too much for me.
I'm going to say something that I've never said publicly before, and I was planning on doing this at some point, but I'll do it here. When I was younger, I was a child actor and model. And there was somebody, I didn't have representation for cinema, and I had gotten a third call back for Forever Young, which is a Mel Gibson movie with Elijah Wood, and I was reading for Elijah Wood's part. So we wanted to get, me being my parent and I, get representation for movies. And somebody misrepresented who they were, and apparently made it seem like there was an offer from, I don't remember the studio, but there was an offer for Dracula Jr. And apparently Joe Pesci and Michelle Pfeiffer were in it, and they wanted me to at least read for the role of Dracula Jr. And if any of you know what Different Strokes is, it was very similar looking back, where I had to film something at this person's house, an older man, and nothing unruly happened, mind you, but he was not who he said he was. I did an audition and then filmed it, and I thought it was going to casting agents, and he then told me that they liked me and I had the part, which was, looking back, just doesn't make sense. And the more I thought about it, the fact that my mom wasn't present for that was bizarre. And apparently this person did the same thing with a younger girl in our neighborhood and got in trouble and got arrested. I don't know what happened. I was not touched. I was not exposed in any way. But thinking about it, I think there was something on the horizon that was perhaps down the road, future plans.
Mm.
And I told a lot of my friends that I was going to be doing this Dracula Jr. movie. And I kept up that lie because, I'd felt embarrassed. This guy was arrested for things where you have to report wherever you go.
Mm-hmm.
And from that experience, I decided that I didn't like acting or modeling any of that, because it's just, for a kid, it's a bunch of waiting is what it really is. And that experience was so nasty. And the one thing that I think everybody can sort of relate to is whether it be money or fame or popularity, something like that. Kids are so easy to exploit in that instance, and for really, really unsavory end goals. The fact that the movie industry, I don't think it's so prevalent in music, but it just seems like shortcuts to fame. There seems to be a lot of unhealthy people in power, and people. I mean, just 10 years ago with the Me Too movement, that people finally started speaking. It's just fascinating that people put up with a lot of things without getting into specific.
They will. Unfortunately, it seems like they are being manufactured. These things are being created faster than they could potentially be gotten rid of. So even the whole Me Too movement, for a while, it seemed like it was effective, and then it turned into a completely different thing and stopped. Like, it's the problem is that even if you developed a solution that was actually viable long term and has no collateral damage and works easily and can be used by anyone, so completely anything, unlike the Me Too movement, even then, the state at which these things occur and get created could not be like outperformed by some sort of purification mechanism, to speak like. So I don't know what the solution to this issue is.
Media you're talking about.
Yeah, that and the
media.
people in power who make it so. Like it is an open question. I don't know what to do about it. Honestly, I don't have an idea. I mean, I always have ideas. I just don't have any concrete solution in mind that would. It's pretty fucked.
Right. A lot of people trade off a lot of their morals in exchange for
success. Yeah.
Right. And that's really troubling. And these people in high positions of power exploit the hell out of that.
And for so many to be willing to make that trade so easily, and for so many of them to succeed so well and keep that perception, it's causing a lot of harm.
We'll get to this, Finch. We will, but actually, that kind of the whole time I watched this after I watched Dorkus's Cicero thing about, basically like, don't do things that just because things are advantageous that will give you advantage. That doesn't mean they're right. Nothing right can be if it's only done. Dorkus, you could probably word it better than I can.
If something is of small negative consequence but brings you tremendous advantage, it's still wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So there's reward, right?
Yeah. So, but it seems like that mechanism is what's core to the way the silence just endured for a long time, because there were so many people involved in this, and involved as in like, not they lined up the kids and put them into. So, it's more like they saw these things happening and didn't really say anything about it. They were uncomfortable. They didn't say things about it.
They believe that it's a feature of the system, and they like it. Just a couple 10 minutes ago we were talking about Russia and the political system over there. There are stuff all around the world where the absolutely horrendous things that we would be disgusted at are part of the system, and people accept it every day and move on, whether it be killing those that you don't like, sexual aggression towards unwilling individuals, all sorts of stuff, because they believe it's ingrained too much and you cannot escape from it. It depends on where you go in the world. Unfortunately, a lot of these things are very common, and there is not much you can do. They are features of a system, as disgusting as that sounds.
But I think as Dorkus said, I think both Charles and Dorkus said something about like just about actually speaking about it, having these kinds of exposure things it makes it, if you see what happened in this one woman, her daughter basically was being contacted by a 35-year-old or whatever it was, and eventually got an explicit picture, and she sees this come through to her daughter. She doesn't call the police, and the way she explained it is she said, I couldn't call the police. I chose, I didn't want to put my daughter through it. And look, everybody has their own decisions to make about that, but everybody will judge that parent, and the standard will become known. Yeah.
Does that parent then share? I can appreciate not wanting to put your daughter through it, so to speak, but does that parent then share any of the responsibility for the damage done to other kids after that fact?
Yes.
Yeah, because what happened is that guy went forth to really assault children. He actually, that guy went. Can you imagine knowing that you knew your daughter was like one of the first ones? So it's like something happened to Charles, and then his mom didn't go and say something.
To be fair, nothing really happened per se, but it seemed like if I kept entertaining the idea that I was in a film, I don't know what would have happened.
No, that's the thing, that it happens in this kind of thing of like, oh well, like you notice now as a kid you don't, but you're like, wait, my mom wasn't there. You're not going to be like, my mom you as a child are not going to be like, my mom needs to be here with me because you're going to abuse me. That's not the child's mind. Okay, the adult has to be in that position.
And I think both of us, my mother included, were thinking, well, the lead role in a film, this is going to pay off.
That is what happens, is that this payoff is so much, it makes them go, I can't let go of this, so they hold on to that, and then you can see the consequences down the line. You're like, yeah, cool, you get all the fame, but look what else you got. Although at the end of this documentary, apparently Drake Bell.
I think that's right.
Drake Bell.
Drake Bell.
Sorry, yeah, Drake Bell. He said like he didn't even get really to enjoy his life as a star as a kid, because this was pervasive. This was his abuse that he went through it took over most of his life. Actually, he was out doing all those things, looking good and meeting fans and all that, but he actually didn't really experience that. And he did say he wanted to be a star and all of that. So he kind of has this thing that doesn't mean he's against stardom for kids or anything. He just wants them to be protected. But anyway,
Well, we kind of touched on it last night, that Hollywood seems to celebrate catching people when their political lean is different. Like the movie Bombshell was about Fox News. And so they really put a lot of money into that and made a film about it and pushed it for awards. And I think it won some awards. But last year, a film came out about Weinstein called She Said. And that didn't get much play at all in regards to publicizing, look, one of our executives was really, really doing unsavory things, because they're hypocrites. I really feel to not self-report when you're so eager to point the finger in the other direction is that you've got to treat everything pretty close to the same, because these kids don't know what the fuck politics are. I apologize.
No, they don't. And that's exactly how you said it, that kids are the ones that get that are easily manipulated
Right.
into this sort of thing. They are the most vulnerable, and that's what makes it different to to say somebody drowning and you say, hey, you don't jump in to save them. As adults, it's kind of like a moral imperative that you need to protect those
Well,
that are.
when I initially asked the question, I think I had said some of the blame. I don't think I said all of the blame.
No,
And
that's stupid. Yeah.
If you are at the riverbank and you see someone drowning and there is a life preserver right next to you and you choose not to throw that life preserver, you didn't put the guy in that situation, but when you could have helped and chose not to, you are taking some moral hit there in my book.
It's involuntary negligence.
It's like you thought, oh, maybe this is pretty heavy. I don't know if I can throw it far enough. I'll just not do it, or some reason you gave yourself for not doing it. But I think, not taking action in certain contexts, it doesn't make you the reason for the thing happening. It doesn't absolve the actual perpetrator, but we do, moral intuition of it all, we do kind of have that where we're like, but you could have, and there was some sort of imperative that you should have helped.
Why would the woman in this situation think she would be unalived, though? Like, was there a pattern of unalivings?
We just talked
over
about
the
Boeing.
kid issue?
Oh, did she think that?
There was no indication that the mother in this situation thought.
No, that's
that.
I look. Listen, I didn't watch it, but as far as what Amelie portrays, because she goes through it episode by episode, she did say that this woman didn't want to speak to the police. It wasn't that she was scared for her life or anything. She just didn't want to because she didn't want to put. And there is something to be said of not putting somebody through that. But the thing is, I think one of the important messages is rather go through that than go through what comes afterwards.
Right. And Vincent, the Good Samaritan rule, Seinfeld situation, does not apply to the riverbank situation or raging river situation because no one's holding a gun to someone's head. No one's going to harm anyone if
she wasn't threatened as far as I understand. Listen, guys, I know we should have done this topic after I watch all the whole thing, but then everybody would have had to go and watch it. And it's just I thought it's more we could bring it down to more of a question of about child stars. But basically based on this thing that we're talking about, this one bit of the documentary where this one of these production hands, I think his name was Handy. I think his surname was Handy. Okay, seriously, one of the production people got involved with this girl in a way like that was inappropriate, and then she gets this picture, shows her mom, or her mom sees it. Actually, she didn't show her mom sees it, and then her mom had to make the decision whether she was going to report it or not, and she didn't.
This is for Gray.
Okay, I can see the comparison.
My hair.
Do you always see him as the competition now?
Yes.
Like, can you just enjoy an Elijah Wood movie?
No.
Or is it like that could have been me?
Dude, I could be Frodo. Like, I was pretty close. But yeah, they're not exactly. Better. Yeah, and I think he had a credit going into that too. He was in Back to the Future 2, and there I was a nobody. So yeah, I wanted to bring a little.
Dinner just arrived, but I'm not feeling very hungry on this topic. Yeah,
we talked about it yesterday, and I think in light of the recent people getting brave to speak up, I really think. I mean, if you work in an office, you have HR, you have human resources. Why not have these studios, these television companies, have a third party, an independent party that is human resources or something that keeps track or regulates the relationships between children or something. Like, so they're not.
Well,
No, go ahead.
This goes back to what Hydra was saying, which was really black pill, but understand it. Is that as soon as I think of this, I'm like, the predators will infiltrate that department. They will do that. But I mean, that doesn't mean we shouldn't try. That's what that is also my feeling, that you do need something like that if this is going to continue, which I think it will. Like, I don't know, we don't have parents here, but when Carew comes in, we'll ask him what he would think if his son came to him and said, I want to be a child star. Yeah.
A star is, I mean, there's a lot of people that are stars that just get messed up in the head. An actor who, I don't know, who has a passion for it's very difficult.
Yeah, because you don't want to take away from people's passions. Like, that is exactly what Drake was talking about, is that he was the one that wanted to be on TV and entertaining people and whatever. He wanted that. He asked that of his family. He wanted that a lot.
Yeah,
so
and if it's merit based, talent will rise to the top.
Yeah. It's just, and yes, there are going to be predators in every system. That's what
right.
sucks.
But and I think they all should be reported evenly.
Exactly. Yeah, get them. Yeah. Predators.
I agree with Finch.
Doom. Exactly. Yeah. This is it. So this is the kind of messaging around. Like, don't put the tag of victim blaming and things like that. It's like, no, we need to encourage this feeling that no, there is so much wrong, you
should be able to do something about it.
It must be worse to keep quiet.
In the Cicero videos that I'm doing, Cicero talks about the theoretically wise man, or the ideal wise man, and it's an unfortunate truth that most people are not so wise and will fail to live up to true goodness or whatever. So, waffling, lost the point.
Yeah, but that's I had that in mind. I had that kind of that is what also what Amala spoke about, and Tyler, they actually spoke about how, look, we can look at the systems, but we also need to look at ourselves and take responsibility for ourselves and champion looking at your own actions and take action when something is when a child is being harmed.
Well, plus the apology video, if that's what you want to call it, from this guy, he had one of his coworkers or one of the actors from all that,
a few of them.
Actually,
it's such a conflict of interest.
It's disgusting. Actually,
the optics are atrocious on that.
But also, he said sorry, guys. Zack Snyder said sorry. Sorry, Zack Snyder.
She was 16 going on 17, so 16. So 16 is what you're saying. Going on 17, so tomato 17.
It's egregious. What did a guy do to the woman's child? So first of all, he was emailing her back and forth, which is already inappropriate. Okay, because she's 35. I mean, he's 35. She's, I don't know, she was like 12 or something. Or whatever. The point is, it's inappropriate, and he then out of nowhere, it seems like, sent her a dick pic. And what actually happened, the reason her mom saw it, apparently, this is the way Amala tells it, is, and I'll put the link in the to her video to show what I knew going into this discussion. She saw her daughter slam the laptop down, and Sorry, I'm trying to make space for Daisy. Gordon has stopped my discussion. Just open that door there, that drawer there, so she can go in.
Well, yeah, apparently this Dan guy really liked massages and didn't have problems asking anybody, children. He apparently he was fond of girls. Read into that however you will.
He's not the only one in he's the big bad in this documentary for sure. Because of just, it seems like he created this environment where this sort of stuff could happen. That was very inappropriate, and inappropriate people could be on the set. Then there's literally Drake and other people that were actually assaulted, and the guy that assaulted Drake got 16 months in prison, I think it was, registered, and could still work with children. He could still work with children. He worked
there's one that
The
works
Sweet
on
Life of
Disney.
Zack and Cody.
Yeah. How do you?
That was after being convicted too.
Yeah.
Oh well, in that case, he's learned.
Yeah. Yeah, good time.
I'm wow.
Yeah, it's like, dude, don't point your finger at me. Fix your own fucking house up. Sorry again.
Well, kind of like the weird Danny Masterson thing where he had a whole bunch of his coworkers write letters of what do they call that, to show your character, if you will. Yeah. He had a whole bunch of people, including like Alan Thicke and a whole bunch of other kind of celebrities, and then people in the business say that, yeah, not only is this guy great, he's never had this problem with me, but I would work with him again. And then some of them actually did. So it's
kids around.
It's not great.
This is the part. Okay, this is how I saw. I'm sure I can go and find the original, but this is where I saw the Zach Dan Schneider. This is his kind of apology, and it's egregious to me. I'll just
Get a vibe, make your own judgments.
Hold on, I've muted this site.
The definition of neckbeard. Definition.
Can you guys hear it?
Is there sound?
Watching the past 2 nights was very difficult.
To you guys?
Me facing
we can hear it.
behaviors,
Okay,
some of which are embarrassing and that I regret. And I definitely owe some people a pretty strong apology.
So do it.
Let's talk about the massages.
Okay.
Watching the content yesterday, it was disturbing.
It was wrong.
What is it doing?
It was wrong that I ever put anybody in that position. It was the wrong thing to do. I'd never do it today. I'm embarrassed that I did it then. I apologize to anybody that I ever put in that situation. And even additionally, I apologize to the people who were walking around Video Village or wherever they happened, because there were lots of people there who witnessed it who also may have felt uncomfortable.
Look at the camera, you piece of shit.
Thousands of jokes have been told.
Yeah.
But currently where we are, some people think
very convincing apology. Yes, very useful. This is what everyone was asking for so long. All of our problems are now solved, and it will never come up again.
Hydra, he said he's embarrassed. It's embarrassing. So he doesn't say who it's embarrassing for.
He's just like, oopsie.
I have to apologize to some people. I seem to have dropped some beverage on somebody's shoes, I think.
And the reason, and you're talking about the optics of it. This guy was in one of his shows.
Yeah, for years.
Yeah.
And
he
again,
was like a cool guy, and
he's like, I didn't notice anything, and it's like, yeah, you're an for this
adult
guy, older male. He was interested in young girls. Of course, you didn't experience anything. People have tastes.
There was another thing in this documentary. Is it just me, or is Kitty really quiet? Maybe I think everyone's just relieved about it.
No,
so they're not
you
saying
are.
anything.
I'm loud.
Your audio's fine for me. But no, listen, Charles, I disagree. Listen, the fact that I have never been and felt uncomfortable around this person, this is the first time I've ever seen him, by the way. Just because looking at through these screens, he never did anything wrong to me. Therefore, we can conclusively prove that nothing bad has happened ever. That's what we are looking for when we are looking for evidence, in such a highly controversial issue. Yes, that is the standard that we must hold ourselves to.
That's pretty funny. I won't lie. That's pretty funny.
That's very
That's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
And the fact that he's doing an apology video where he refuses to look at the audience, but he looks at that safe
Man.
person, right?
the guy-
Why do you have a camera there?
Yeah. I don't.
Why are you asking so much? Okay, he apologized for being an evil to the core. Okay,
This is
Huck.
the guy who worked in television and he's delivering an apology and not looking to the camera. It's just like,
Wouldn't you have to actually say "I'm sorry" to deliver the apology?
Yeah,
Isn't
you
he
know
more
what?
like just talking about an apology? Like I owe an apology.
He's like, would an
Yes.
apology make you feel better? Okay,
You know
I'll
what?
keep that on the table then.
He owes an apology, but it's not a. It's listen. It doesn't matter. You can't say sorry. It doesn't. It's like reparations or whatever. It's like that's not going to make anything go away.
Even the vague nature of it, like he could mentally be saying, I'm actually saying this in regards to the lawnmower that I have in my garage because I really should have given it back to my neighbor. But that's what I'll tell myself while I'm saying I have some apologies to make. Like it's too vague.
I'm sorry you feel that way. Yeah, I'm sorry everybody was so uncomfortable with the young girls doing foot shots and then giving me massages and oh god. Just it seems like there was the whole thing is that there was this environment where predators could thrive and enjoy.
Yeah.
And you know what? One of the things is you look at this when it first kind of dropped. There, Amal actually did a video on it, and she had a whole compilation of the feet things and all the stuff that looked very sexual. And as a child, it doesn't because you're innocent. It doesn't. That's funny. Slime is funny. You don't know what slime's supposed to be.
No.
That whole thing is you're a kid. You're innocent. You come with this beautiful innocence. So you just think it's silly and funny. But the adults know, and it's kind of like the adults are creating this and what his little defense is that there were so many people that okayed it. So it's not just me.
Well, yeah, everybody's trying to make their fame and money happen. So
yeah. And they're like,
eyes on the prize.
It's not an actual penis, it's a potato, so it's fun. It's like and it is when you look at the compilations of the feet things and it's sinister. It is very sinister and it makes you think, what are the minds behind that? But the point is there were actual predators on the sets as well, which does come out in this documentary.
So two things. One, Finch, yes, considering what he did looking at the camera would still not help, but everything about this is just lacking any sort of genuine feel. Like he's just having a conversation with a good friend who would not be part of the apologies that he needs to say. And yeah, he would turn himself in. He was truly sorry. What I was referencing before, my personal story, it wasn't like putting myself into this, but just to give you an idea of what we don't know about how kids go through. Somebody brought up Amanda Bynes, and she's really dealing with it mentally.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, badly as in it's taking such a toll on her. It's
right.
That, she's not good enough.
I've never talked about it until now. It's been almost a couple of decades. But I'd rather people think I was a liar than think that I would have fallen for a predator or a predator's tricks. So
yeah,
just to give you guys an idea,
there is that shame that
right.
shame that comes with it because you're just like, well, I fell for it. It's my
right.
fault. That is one of the main things that happens with assault victims is this self-blame. This I was duped. I was the one that yeah, sure, they did wrong to me, but I could have stopped it myself.
It's rather telling of our world that people who engage in this kind of behavior get off scot-free or with a light slap on the wrist so often because they are in such high positions or have so much wealth or influence. And even when they have the most conclusive, the most unshakable and the huge amount of evidence to prove their guilt, still basically nothing happens. And when somebody gets accused of such things with zero evidence and they don't have any status or money, their life is ruined forever because that's what really matters. It seems that whenever an interaction like this goes down, what actually matters more than whether or not you can prove your innocence is how much money and influence you can throw into the blender to come out of it unscathed.
There's somebody here in the UK that I spoke to that said that Jimmy Savile, who just tortured people for just decades, and they said, well, he did so much good, so doesn't that kind of neutralize the bad?
No, it doesn't.
I agree.
Know that you can neutralize that.
And plus,
I don't know. Wouldn't that like excuse like a horrible billionaire who could, philanthropize his way out of any crime?
How many charities do I need to fund? How many moon landings do I need to fund in order to be able to rape a woman? How much do you think I need to counterbalance it? Is it even possible? I don't think this is a good line of thought that we want to go down. Okay?
Right. Well, part of it is it's a conflict of interest, even in your own line of, like he opened up these hospitals and he really took advantage of people that had no ability to defend themselves. So like because of his... What?
Of the vulnerable. It was the most vulnerable of the vulnerable.
There was people in a coma that he had his way with, and that was like a hospital or a medical center.
That is fucking disgusting.
It is, and he only got 5 years for like 60 years worth of just torment.
Yes, I'd like to point out that the guy who leaked the GTA 6 trailer got far more sentence than that. Okay, because he pissed off a big corporation, and meanwhile you can rape people in comas and get less.
Well, he did all that good.
Oh God, you can. I'm just thinking this question that has come up here.
I don't agree with it. I'm just saying it's bizarre that mentality comes up.
And the thing is, he was doing it in order. It was like it served him. He did these good things in order to like make basically a mill of access to victims. That's what it was. It wasn't helping them. So as much as you can try and logic your way into that,
it's a masquerade.
Is true redemption a thing? How would one?
Maybe the other way around.
That's for God. For
the
me,
other way around,
true
maybe.
Redemption is for God because I'm not capable of it. Okay, I'm not capable.
I mean,
of
maybe if
that deep.
They've been convicted, they've taken full responsibility, they've gone through like some sort of treatment. Maybe at that point, like you could think about it. But if it's just like, I don't do that anymore. I don't know.
They need to be able to prove it with action that they are even worthy of such thoughts being considered about them.
What kind of action? Like, should they? Because we talked about all of these other good things that they do. I would imagine like spending the rest of your life in service to preventing others from doing the thing you did.
That would be a good start.
As the optimal.
It's apples and oranges, but Michael Vick kind of is a case of that, where he did dog fighting and went to jail, and now he's kind of a spokesperson for animal rights. So again, it's apples and oranges.
If you provide me with evidence for that person, which I never heard of from them before, but if you were to provide me proper evidence, and I would be able to see the arc of not just the switch being flicked, but him going through all of this and landing up in this position, I would be able to believe and potentially forgive this person. But I need to see that arc.
Sure.
Carew, who's not Carew anymore, I suppose.
Well, you don't know that.
Vroom.
On the go?
Carew.
Carew.
He's going in and out of 5G range.
Well, look, we're not done because we haven't answered the question. So does this mean we don't have child stars? Do we go to just
hire better executives is what they need to do. A screening process?
Obviously, I think we shouldn't throw out the baby with the bathwater. The problem is with the system, not the very concept of child stars. So,
right. Yeah.
In an ideal utopian world, child stars would be completely possible with like zero of this happening. And I think that shows that there could be something that we could strive for that may be better than just getting rid of the whole thing in its entirety.
Yeah, why-
Charles, you might have a more informed opinion on this since you were competing against other child stars. Should they exist? Like, do you think the potential there is just too high of a risk, or I don't know? Are there safeguards that could go in place?
It's strange that I don't mean this the way it sounds, but it's strange that Kitty says, should there be no child stars when the children aren't really doing anything wrong? It's the people in positions of power. Like, why again?
Why take it from the children?
Right. They're just keeping them in their position. I get the children out because clearly they're going to get harmed, which is, it doesn't make sense to me.
You're making it their responsibility. That's so true. You're making it their responsibility. It's like, no, if they are really enjoying their thing, that enjoying what they're doing, and I do think there are lots of them that want what they have. It's just, it's on the parents to really not turn into Britney Spears parents. It can go wrong in so many ways, but it's up to the adults to make sure it doesn't go wrong. Okay, it's not the children's fault ever.
Right.
Oh my God! Speaking of, it's not the children's fault. In this documentary, okay, the character letters that you spoke about. There were two people that gave this offender character reference letters, and in the letters they said no, he wouldn't do this without provocation, or he wouldn't do it without the children having, or the Drake having tempted him.
Excuse me, what the fuck do you mean? You're talking about people who cannot possibly consent. What do you mean tempted them? This is the did you see what she was wearing argument, but 1,000 times worse, and with children. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm usually an advocate for unbiased and good conversations, but these people are, it's not possible to have it with them.
How do you have that conversation?
You can't.
Yeah, and to answer what you were talking about, Gray, first of all, as a child actor and model, I never was in Hollywood, proper. Most of my work was out of New York. So usually when you go on casting calls, your parents are with you. And then when you get like a callback, it's, they might have, all right, we don't want your parent or guardian affecting something, and then it gets a little interesting. But
is that weird? Like, would it be a safeguard to have that parent or guardian with you at all times so that they can't have that like closed door?
Yeah,
that's what Drake's dad was trying to do. He would always want to be on set right where his son was, and then actually this predator convinces him to change manager to his mom, and his mom's just too busy for things, and palms off a lot of the duties and things to this predator guy.
It's such a fucking sinister hunting process if you consider it.
Well, it was even worse than that. The dad had huge suspicions against this particular guy who happened to be like a lion reading coach, and told the mom, like, hey, I'm worried about this guy, don't let him near him. And she let the kid sleep over at his house because she lived far away.
Yeah, they didn't want to drive, so she let him. Like, can you imagine being that dad? Because
I can't. That would be torture.
Your son, because your son is the one that wanted to move away from this, but you've told the mother, because this is the mom. Okay, that's another thing, is like, we want parents to be present, but we want good parents as well. So hopefully we get those. That'll be good. But there's never a guarantee, because I'm just thinking there are people that are willing to exploit their children no matter what. I don't know how the mom slept at night, but the dad certainly had concerns, and she did not take those.
Some people sleep so sweetly and calmly at night, and those people are most likely some of the least deserved. I'm sorry. There are people who could. I wish I could redistribute humanity's self-doubt, because some people who are the kindest and the best in basically everyone else's life doubt themselves so much, and not able to sleep cover even when they most deserve it. And then there are actual fucking monsters who just don't ever care and have no sense of self-reflection.
Is
But that
Carew,
is
that
no,
related to the
what
topic,
we're
or
talking about, or
yeah?
are you not going to join us?
Were you on one of
Yeah.
those
That's
planes
not
without a
great.
restroom?
Listen, use a coffee cup. It's got a lid.
Oh God, no! Stop, please. No.
Hey, making it light.
Yeah, we're trying this topic. Okay, well we will finish it. You don't have to be part of it either. Look, it makes any stomach turn because
Yes.
it goes to that innocence that you need to protect children and the things that they've gone through. Look, we can maybe revisit it after everybody's watched it. Great, sounds like you watched the whole thing, or did you watch Amala's coverage?
So I watched all of Mila's thing, but I watched 2 of the episodes. It's really hard to get through, so I didn't make it through all of the actual thing. I took a break. It was just too intense.
It's heavy,
yeah. So I do plan on watching the rest of it, but a lot of these are like accusations that people kind of knew for years, and it wasn't compiled into one place. But yeah, this is just kind of crazy that nobody was kind of looking out for these kids.
To make you feel better, Gray, you know, there is some apologies that need to be handed out.
Yeah, apologies. You know, there are some that are needed.
So that should make you feel good.
Embarrassing. And some people were uncomfortable. Yeah.
Somebody said it in the chat. He's not sorry. He's sorry he was caught.
It is that instance. That's exactly what actually the core of this is, in that it's that so many, the system worked so well that, or the hierarchy and the politics of it works so well to hide all of these things, because it takes so much courage to stand up. And then also when
plus it seems like there's a lot of them all around.
A lot everywhere.
Yeah, they're sprinkled all over the place.
Each other out.
Sure.
Character letters all over up the wazoo. No, it's not cool. They are helping each other out. It's disgusting. And yes, and you can be then labeled. Look what happened with Me Too. Although I don't know how you can do that. Which it's very, because it's so deep and scary when it comes to children. It's the worst thing that could happen. My immediate thing is that kind of, nobody would ever lie about that. Nobody could be that cruel to lie about something like that. So we have to.
I literally lied about something else to run cover for that. So
yeah, so it makes sense that, you know.
And nothing happened. Like nothing. Well.
But you know what? It's so sinister. It's like a story. When you told me that story, it's like hearing a story about what people do when they write into the murder podcast that I listen to. They write about so and so who came into contact with that serial killer but didn't get killed, wasn't a victim. It's scary because you're like, I was there, and it could have been me. That is very scary. If that is scary enough on its own, can you imagine being we don't have to now say who's the bigger victim. It's just more like,
no,
that's fucking scary. That's a scary thing. That's a scary place. We don't want to go there. And it's kind of traumatic to think, because you start thinking about, well, how did I get into that situation? And look how I already lied to cover something that didn't go as wrong as it could have. So you know how it would have played out, kind of. So you can see all of these mechanisms. So I appreciate you sharing that with us, and especially because it's like the first time you've done it.
The funny thing, the odd thing, I ended up doing stand-up comedy, and a lot of, I've read that before. What a lot of other comedians were talking about having an agent for acting. And I remember specifically being like, it did, whatever happened in my childhood affected my thought process moving forward, where I was like, yeah, a comedian, you're there by yourself. You're an adult or close to it, whatever. You have control over the situation. Where all these comedians were like, I'm going to do stand up as a stepping stone to acting. And I was like, yeah, I've done that. I have no interest in the acting part. I just want to make people laugh. So it affected some of my decision making, even though I went back to entertainment. Whether or not I talked about it, it certainly affected my decisions and working in the industry.
It it didn't feel right to go.
Right. And this guy was a fraud too. Like that's the other thing. Like
You feel
perhaps unfairly, but it doesn't seem so now.
no, that there are so many frauds. They are promising you the world,
Right.
and as a child, you're going to be like, yes, that's literally children get fooled by candy. Okay,
Yeah.
now you're telling them they're going to have a whole ass career and be famous and whatever. That's you can't expect them to be okay with that. Like to be.
And I think that's the other thing that's perhaps they need to fix the casting couch culture where I went to this dude's house and filmed what I thought was a casting video.
Mm.
And after that, like the fact that he's like, yeah, they loved it. Yeah, you got the part. I didn't. Well, first of all, I wasn't old enough to properly think about. Oh, they don't want to like talk to me or anything. It was just I got the part. I'm gonna be famous. Yeah, let's go ahead. So
well,
like
that's yeah.
No, go on.
No, that's the mechanism that they use in any, whether it's a child or just anyone who wants to be a star. You kind of you let down your guard because it's so much easier or so much more beneficial to be like, no, but you don't want to doubt it.
You have tunnel vision. Yeah, you can't take in.
Let's do it. Yeah, this is what I've always wanted. Of course, this is happening, and they kind of rely on that, which is it's despicable. It hurts.
Indeed.
Yeah. So our answer, I think, are we all in agreement? It's not on the children. You don't take away the child stars because the adults are the ones that are fucking up.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, like something needs to be done. Like enough already. How many of these fucking idiots are you running cover for? Like, if it's the industry, then we need to just rinse. Get rid of all of them. Sorry, get rid of all of them and start from scratch.
We need to do it with stuff from Nickelodeon. We are not doing Gartic with stuff from Nickelodeon. Thank you. And we'll do it with cartoons or stuff, but not of this. You mean like Nickelodeon, like the cartoons and stuff? Not this, George. Definitely not this. We don't need to speak about this in Gartic Phone. Carew, are you gonna join us? Because
yeah, please come back, Carew.
We want to do something lighthearted.
We missed the cat. Yes.
We do want to do something lighthearted. I think. Look, if anyone wants to revisit this topic, I think we're all in agreement. Harming children bad.
Yeah.
And
we are very brave today, aren't we?
But I look, for sure, he can ever trust adults. We can't. I don't know if we can ever trust adults. Too much power and desperation. So even if not child's fault, might need to scrap the enterprise. We can't trust anyone with anyone then. That's
right.
The thing. I guess maybe there is the point there that Cameron's making is that children are just so precious that we can't even risk that at all. Yeah. So that the people that are saying no child stars at all, it's like it is for their own good, and the greater good is that. I understand that.
Wait, if you are a low-level assistant to not even a second director, and a 10-year-old approaches you with a story about a principal executive producer, who do you then go to? I say a lawyer, but I know. Right. Yeah, you go to a lawyer.
Yeah, a lawyer.
Right. Because if an executive producer is involved, you can't. You don't know what the conflict of interest could be.
Yeah. But Carew, are you back?
That doesn't sound
no.
promising.
He's still on the go.
Transition. New topic.
Okay, I guess we're gonna have to. We'll go to it when.
I have different topics in the meanwhile that might be interesting.
Yeah, we can go. You can go. Hydra has something about going back to gaming. We'll do this.
I've seen someone, I don't recall exactly who it was, someone brought it up in chat. That was another interesting thing that happened recently that might be worth touching on, is that there was recently an Apex Legends hacking situation that was more interesting than the usual. Then, there are always drama whenever someone gets exposed. Oh my god, this really good player was cheating, war hacks, etc. aimbot. What makes this case unique is there seems to be concrete, solid evidence that this person did not plan and place this cheat there on their own, but that someone has the ability to externally get into the system used on the official Apex tournament and inject malware and cheats into anyone's essentially game that they desire.
And this is using the
And
anti-cheat software, right?
Of course they have anti-cheat, but it's fucking worthless. It's Apex. Anti-cheats is not...
But isn't it that was the exploit that they used? That's what I read a bit of it. It's like
No,
that's what they actually used.
It's the anti-cheats not great. It's famously bad for Apex. So the loopholes there that can be, but not loopholes, but the holes in that system that could be exploited are numerous. But essentially, it seems that it's not just a breadcrumb tail, it's not just a bad excuse, but there seems to be concrete proof that the system is so vulnerable to external attacks that somebody at will can inject not only cheats into your game and make you a cheater, essentially destroying your career forever, cementing you as a cheater, but also simultaneously delivering malware and ransomware into other competitors' PC as well. Because what I've seen, this might be incorrect, that before the tournament began, there were no signs of any cheating, any cheat software, and during the tournament, this person suddenly got hacks enabled for them, and good sports, they were a good sport about it because they immediately reported themselves and asked to be essentially removed instantly.
Wait, can I intervene for a second? You said tournament, right?
Yes, this was an official tournament.
So that's for money, right?
Yep, a lot.
Right, so, that's a big deal then. That's a really big deal. Sorry.
A lot of people's money and reputation on the line, so it's a very high stakes environment.
Sure.
And this person was a good sport about it and immediately, essentially, to be disqualified instantly, which is really, good on them. They made the right choice. But even after the tournament, as they looked for evidence, not only were the hacks now suddenly there, but a lot of other people had malware on their computers, which wasn't there before. So it's pretty obvious that they have a massive hole in the system somewhere that people can just use to inject stuff at will. And Apex and the official people aren't doing really anything about it that would solve this issue anytime soon. So for now, all of Apex tournament and esports are completely and utterly compromised, and nothing really seems to be done about it. And it's just...
What can be done? What would you do?
Put it on hold and fundamentally restructure the entire anti-cheat, get a new one, rebuild from ground up how the servers are done, everything. This cannot be allowed. Like this has already crippled the image of our game. If you were to put me in charge of Apex, I would be like, the image and reputation of our game is forever tarnished by this, and we're going to lose some big esports figures. Even if they never cheated, they will forever be cemented in the community as a cheater. We have to take the plunge of no esports or maybe even high-profile online games for months just to potentially rebuild the anti-cheat and not have this again be an issue. And of course, it would help if we could catch the person who was doing it. That would always be a good publicity stunt, additionally. But if I was in charge, I would rather take the complete restructuring than just allow the situation to go on at all, because it is a fucking travesty. It is, again, a complete and utter failure as far as an anti-cheat goes, to make your PC even so vulnerable that to malware through the game. Again, the closest to this thing that I have experienced personally, this reminds me of, is that there used to be cheaters in Dark Souls 3's online mode that would invade your world and have weapons that if they hit you with, you would get like 999,000 of every single item and object in the game, and then the anti-cheat would detect that and disqualify you from ever playing online ever again, while the cheater is allowed to run rampant and do it to everyone else. I've had that happen to me, for example, but thankfully it's not that big of a deal because it's Dark Souls, so can just share it on stream, create another account, family share it, and go on there, and you can play online again, even if you're banned. But again, this was a well-known loophole in some cheats, that it's possible for a hacker to get someone else banned with a false positive, or even forcing them to have what is considered hacks. But for it to be, this is a completely an utterly different level entirely in this Apex situation.
Do they ever have, like, if there's money involved in these tournaments, do they ever have like a third party for? It seems like my answer is third party for everything. A third party for like firewall or something, like you would think with money behind it, they'd be a little bit more secure with things.
Well, they, as far as I know, all of that in the security department are famously lacking.
That's terrible.
It's not. This, like, for a long time, some of these vulnerabilities were known, but it seems like it was only a question of time until such a high-profile case arose. Frankly, I'm not that surprised, honestly, because the general downfall of anti-cheats in mobile gaming, and even in esports scenes, has been going on for a while. So it was inevitable that something like this would happen. Honestly, they got off easy, because as vulnerable as that system was, all of the participants could have had all of their data completely and utterly stolen, like anything that entered into that. It's rather terrible. I'm not a cybersecurity expert, and I'm not an anti-cheat expert, not a tournament expert, didn't organize esports tournament ever, didn't even participate in them. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a total failure.
Yeah.
And the way it's being handled is about as equally as bad.
Well, some apologies have to be handed out. That's for
Without looking at the camera, of course, yes. Listen, we are very sorry that our players were misrepresented. We are sorry that you did not enjoy the last tournament. We always try our best, and
it's embarrassing.
You felt uncomfortable connecting to our servers.
Hydra, how do you still have we're trying to figure out when we're doing this. But Carew's having trouble connecting.
By the time we get there, we're going to lose all of our viewers. As soon as I started speaking, we dropped into single digits. It's kind of just me and my repulsive power that keeps everyone away.
No, look, we have...
Carew will bring in wrapping gloves.
Carew is...
critical for what I have.
Yeah, so I guess we could continue. Shall we continue with other topics and hopefully he can get to us? But then if Carew comes and then Hydra disappears, then we can't do it.
We're gonna have to
case we may have to put it off till next week.
Yeah.
Listen, that's just gonna hype it up even more. We're gonna have people appear. Hopefully, it's gonna be something special stream.
Proper marketing. That's how you tease the next episode.
Guerrilla marketing. So here we go. That was trending this week, and I love the way V covered it. He's like, "Oh, was there a conflict? Was there a this? Was it?" No, Trump said a thing. That's why. That's why the word bloodbath was trending. Hydra, didn't you hear about it? That's good. You would.
No, I do consume American politics as entertainment, but I missed this one in particular.
Trump was talking about the what was it? The automobile industry.
Yeah.
And putting tariffs on other countries regarding the auto industry, and he used the word bloodbath in reference to economic issues. And all the mainstream media basically said Trump was calling for a civil war.
Well, if you
that's the ideal place where you want to start for a civil war, in the automobile industry.
Well,
where else?
His rhetoric is dog shit. That's one thing.
We know that he's not capable of. He needs to take a lesson on communicating properly.
Right, his rhetoric is the fact
optics are horrible. Yeah,
the fact that January 6th happens means he really should have had speech training. So anything he says that seems extreme,
Media training, yeah.
right.
No, I think you could media train him, but he
could have afforded the very best media training in the world. But
I don't think he can. Can't
maybe
afford
not
much
anymore.
else.
I don't know.
Well, you're saying he's not effective at it, but like, doesn't it get everybody talking about like every damn thing that he's saying?
That
Like,
is the
he's
good
very
part.
wrong
Yes.
in a way that makes others talk about it.
It's good television. It's awful politics.
It's good for igniting a conversation and spreading it far and wide, but not so much for consolidating support and political influence. It is a method of engaging that will ensure that a lot of people will hear about it and will develop opinions about it, but it is a very poor method for having a support base and essentially uniting them in a direction and building them as something, as a political tool or instrument. It's just... If it is honestly kind of... if Trump would have been slightly different, it's the universe's way of debuffing Trump. Imagine if Trump actually had like an ability to be just not have these speech issues, to be able to flush out all of his mistakes, it could have been actually an insanely powerful president. Even if you disagree with all of his politics, he could have it's funny, think about an alternate reality where Trump was just a slightly different. The world could have gone uphill or downhill insanely quickly and taken off in wild directions, and it would have been a roller coaster. But it's we'll not really see that, unfortunately. Maybe for you, maybe it's fortunately. Over here, I'm just observing and getting the popcorn. But
yeah, Calvin, that's a good point. I mean, he's found the cheat code. Is it awful politics? Nobody who makes clear and consistent policy statements gets elected. Yeah, but
that is just universally true. Yeah,
right. But we've had 4 years of him, and he was terrible. Like he was
That's
terrible.
the point. Like if he did that imagine how powerful Trump would be if he actually like built the wall and did every single thing that he promised when he originally ran. Like his support would be tenfold, because that was the appeal, that we're gonna have the cutthroat businessman who works outside the system, solves problems in a unique way, that it's not necessarily like we're gonna have this guy who is not held back, who can shatter everyone. He has a badass persona. He can roast everyone. He has this unique skill set. He's gonna be like no one before, etc., etc. All of this hype, and then he gets into office and he does basically a tax cut and a mild prison reform, and it's essentially the same as every single other politician before him. And that's when people's faith was a little bit shaken off. Like all of that talk of how you're going to be the anomaly, the unique, the one who is going to do what no one else did before, who was so wild in speeches, and every single perspective you expected him from before said different, and then he was just the same as other politicians.
Well, Hydra, was that for a lack of trying though? Because I remember if I recall correctly, he certainly tried to do much of what he said.
Not enough. He tried a little. Again, this is my perspective, and I could be wrong. And I don't live in the US, so take what I say with a massive grain of salt. But from what I've seen in the beginning, he generally tried to deliver upon his campaign promises, like a lot of politicians. And then, after he realized how much harder they were than what he thought they would be, like all the other politicians, he kind of settled into an uneasy status quo and did other things instead. And I don't like that, because that's what he shat on others for, basically.
So pro-Trump people, when do you hold one of the conflicting things he says to task? When do you start doing that? It's been 8 years since he was elected. And he says things like, I remember there was something that came up and he says, I don't joke. And then when some other situation came up and he was like, you know, I was kidding. So does he not joke or does he joke? Is he a billionaire or is he broke? Like nobody like whatever he says at the moment, Trump supporters seem to be like, well.
And it's not unique to Trump supporters. It's a lot of politicians support. Like I've seen that with Biden people and a lot of other people as well. I don't like this. There is always this very small, in some cases not so small, but a minority fan base that just stuck with their figurehead, whatever they do,
Right.
no matter what happens, every single thing they can. Trump said that he could. I don't remember the exact quote. Exact quote, but I'm paraphrasing that he could murder somebody
on Fifth Avenue.
Oh,
and not lose a single
and it
vote.
wouldn't. And he was, in a certain sense, correct that there will be a lot of people defending him.
Yeah, proof's in the
And
pudding.
that's not just Trump.
Don't
Sadly,
don't give him ideas.
I don't like it because these people have not reasoned themselves into any of their positions, so it is worthless to talk to them because they cannot be reasoned out of it.
Well,
so to not go with the cherry-picked bloodbath thing, what he said before that in relation to tariffs was about the auto industry, that foreign vehicles, if they didn't pay a certain tariff, they wouldn't be sold in the States. That means all of your Japanese cars, that means all of your German cars. So we're okay with not having Benzes or Land Rovers or Toyotas or Lexuses. We're okay with that,
It doesn't look good because Trump previously tried the whole tariff thing, especially in relation to, he had this great idea of like, we're going to economically choke China out, which I'm all for, by the way. But his way of going about it essentially harmed the US more than China. And Biden's Semiconductor Act was actually surprisingly more effective at kicking the Chinese industry in the balls and boosting the American one instead. So I don't think that he should. If I was Trump, I would stop talking about tariffs, basically, because the past is not it's not looking good.
Yeah, well, to double up. I mean, the rest of the world thinks we're crazy. Just so you know, from an outsider perspective, from the inside, if that makes any sense. Somebody, shit, I had it a second ago. Yep, I lost it. My brain can't handle two thoughts. Gone. Never mind.
Look,
Somebody help me. Dorkus?
Just
Please.
My criticisms of Trump are that I think he surrounded himself with some not great people who ultimately hindered him. But I remember him trying his best to fulfill his promises. I liked, well, I don't like tariffs. I liked the tax cuts. I liked the support of Israel. I liked his judicial appointments, the Gorsuch and Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett. Do I like the way he speaks? Is sort of a mixed bag for me, because do I think a president should speak like that? Not necessarily, but at the same time, I do so love when he calls out the hypocrites in the media for.
He is a hypocrite.
He's calling himself out.
And I've called him out for those
implied.
things, or at least I'd like to believe I added the qualifier. Do I like the way he speaks? No. But at the same time, I love when he calls out the people that I actually really, really dislike much more than I dislike Trump speaking.
So
is there a politician that you? Is there a politician that you like the way that he speaks? Like, isn't it just universal that politicians lie? They're all, treacherous. Like, it's
different levels,
kind of like
least.
You're dealing with a witch or something. Like they're going to try and trick you somehow.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and I agree that politicians lie. That's
their job.
Comes with the territory. Sure.
It's ultimately what you have to decide between is like, sure, Trump's support for Israel was again a good idea, but the way it was executed, I think, was horrendous. Again, internationally, I would have.
Several presidents, left and right, said that they would move the embassy to Jerusalem. He's the one that did.
And it was a bad idea, but yeah, he could have done it better. It's the issue is that also. Listen, if I was Trump, I honestly think I could have limited the damage to the public persona. Like, he already had the narrative going, the whole populist thing, coming in with gun blazing. It could have been so much stronger. It could have been so much more powerful to actually, like, for example, just skipping the whole internationally making fun of allies and destroying relationships, and instead of focusing of trying to fix the Middle East and then abandoning overseas NATO allies to their fate, was such a like the middle. You could have coasted by like all other previous presidents on the Middle East being aflame and actually focus more on the overseas allies instead. Or you could have done so many different things to truly live up to the Make America Great Again slogan, to actually restore, to have so many things that that the US was too broken to fulfill to actually reach those heights.
Well,
you could have
that
had
sounds like work, though.
But
yeah, that's my issue with Trump, is that he promised a lot. He was gonna be the different guy. He was gonna be the guy, and then after he actually got into office, he realized that attaining all of those goals would be 1,000 times harder than he thought. And then he tried for a little bit again, and then he gave up. And I think that is again, people have to ultimately decide whether they like the snappy, I'm gonna actually roast you in a conversation or make fun of you or call you out or verbally point out, yes, or actually doing something. Because personally, I think I would rather have a president who is half dead zombie and falls down the stairs, but his team of handlers actually fucking gets something done. I think that is ultimately more useful than the guy who is also in appearance, but like fails at international politics.
So his big thing.
I get what you're saying. Like both seem to be failures, but I mean, one of them you actually know who's kind of. Sorry, Dorkus, please go right ahead, sir.
Look at the way Biden pulled out of the Middle East. Compare that to how the Middle East was under Trump.
That was
really
arranged by
tell
Trump.
me.
Yeah,
Trump put an expiration date on that.
Yeah,
that's why Biden had to leave overnight.
Unfortunately, Trump, that is not a fair example, because Trump made it so that the whole thing would sunset and would be a shit show unless he gets reelected. It was a really cunning.
If I get the floor for a moment.
We have a Carew.
On that issue, what happened was that Trump was kicking the can down the road, and he made it Biden's problem rather than having a plan and following through. It's not like Trump had a plan and everything was working out fine, and then Biden canceled that plan and just pulled out. No. All of this was Trump's. This was a problem that he inherited from Trump.
Not
directly.
To say that Biden went about perfectly, or they didn't make any mistakes, or that Trump didn't solve anything, but it is an unfair comparison in this case, because it's locked in. It was not something that you could change. Really.
Well, the other
thing, Hydra, you were saying that you would rather have, kind of the essentially what we have now, the Biden type that, he's probably not actually in charge. He probably has handlers of some kind. Would you trust that, being as like we didn't, elect, like, say, the press secretary, for instance,
no,
where
of course
she's the
not.
one who's tweeting out as him? It does appear that a lot of these unelected officials kind of are the ones with a good deal of power right now. Like, I don't know. That's scary to me in a way that I'm not sure. It definitely seems like a trade-off, but it's like I kind of feel like I know what I'm getting with a Trump, where I don't even know who the hell is in charge of anything in this.
Yeah, I would not trust it. But in the current situation of the world, that is essentially almost a complete copy of like a wind up to World War II. I would rather have a competent team of essentially a shadow government than somebody who is not Biden. He's sorry, Hydra. Not Biden, a competent team of a shadow government handlers, than someone who is just insanely cool and awesome persona, but fumbles when it comes to international relations. I would rather have someone who, I understand that it's really, really bad, and I agree, but the current situation, in a current very specific international situation, I think it's the lesser of the two evils for now. That's what I think. But that's just me.
A lot of his I'm sorry, go ahead, Dorkus, sorry.
No, go on. But now that we have a talking Carew, let's say our piece and move on to this thing I worked so hard on.
Yeah,
I just wanted to. I missed a few minutes when you were first talking about this, so forgive me if you already covered this ground. But I did want to mention about the bloodbath. Even though it is used frequently, and there's at least one montage going around of lots of different people saying it.
Yeah, I was gonna
when
play that
Trump said
montage.
it, I did jump to the same was it? I jumped to thinking about January 6th when him particularly uses that phrase. Now, even when I was trying to like, okay, what else could he mean? Right? That was all my brain was conjuring. So I think that it would behoove him, it would be smart for him specifically to not use that phrase.
Plus, it's strange that America 10 years ago, if I were to tell you that somebody would open their stand-up sets with a tribute to people that stormed the Capitol and calls dead soldiers losers. How
It's
many
not a
votes do you
good
think that
look.
person would get?
Like, listen, whether you support Trump or not, you need to see. You need to agree that he needs to get media training, please.
Yes.
Like the guy
Yeah.
is cutting the tree under himself so often. Like, please, for the love of God. Like, it's true. Someone said in the chat that the job of the president is not always to
Biden
be the
sucks.
guy in charge.
I want to be
but
clear
to
and say
have-
that Biden sucks.
Yes,
because I see it in the chat.
But I mean, is Biden getting the same type of publicity
whole-
from like his speeches, other than they're saying like, "Oh my God, he actually was able to like kind of complete this one," but you're not actually seeing
Yes.
any of the substance in it. Where people
Yes.
are debating this, it has like lit the news on fire.
Yeah, the issue
It's
is
not
that
what I would want, but
like boring
I don't know.
politics
Like
myself.
it does seem to be effective, even if it's not good for the country. I don't know.
I don't
It's a
think so.
bracelet.
I think what you're seeing is the media flare up. Trump's is more attractive because something is happening. It's interesting. It's flowery. It's energetic, even if it destroys relationships with allies and international politics. It puts America in an otherwise weaker military and political and economic position. It's very fun and engaging, whereas the other is just a guy trying not to fall asleep and form a coherent sentence. You can only write jokes about that so many times in the media. So whereas you can farm outrage with Trump indefinitely. So that's what I think, because you can okay just write another article about how he's Nazi, whatever, etc. When with Joe Biden, it's like Joe Biden falls asleep for the 2000th time. It's not. I don't know. It's not that attractive. At some point.
Okay, Carew, you can look at the screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here we
I
go.
have it full. I have it full screened.
Okay, great. So for the uninitiated, several months ago, I wrote a script with a bit of help from Carew, called Woke Movie. The premise for it was something to the effect of a series of sketches documenting the production of the wokest movie ever made, Stunning and Brave.
Oh my God.
And everyone seemed to enjoy that stream. We did a reading. It was a good time. It's in Kitte's backlog of videos if anyone wants to go find it. Well, Kitte recently started streaming to Twitch, and on Twitch you can spend your hard-earned channel points to request a story from Kitte. And I requested a story, a buddy cop movie starring Carew and Grey Poupet. And Kitte did not tell me that story, unfortunately. Now, I strongly believe in the phrase, be the change you want to see in the world. So I wrote about 4 or 5 scenes of a movie called Mustard and the Cat. And we're going to do a reading of it right now.
Nice.
I'm so excited.
Oh boy.
Do I have
This is
a
a
part?
very serious movie. Charles,
I don't have a
would
part
you
then.
please... Charles, would you please play the role of Galente for us?
Oh God. Oh,
I don't know if I could be
You're
method
now the
like
heart
that.
of the stream again, Charles.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't think I can be method. That's a lot of pressure. Oh, wait, I don't have the script. All right, so I was just
I'm
riffing.
going to
I'm
share
sorry.
the screen.
Oh, shit. I have the
Okay.
first line. Or
Everyone else
Galente
is
does.
pretty much playing themselves.
Oh no.
Scene 1, exterior, shipping docks, evening. Establishing shot of shipping docks. A detective's car pulls up to the entrance. Interior, Grey Poupet's car, evening. Inside Grey's car, we see both Grey, a giant mustard, and Galente, a space bounty hunter guy.
You sure about this tip, Poupet?
I'm telling you, gal, there's an exchange going on here tonight. My informant's worth his salt.
That's so?
That's so, DH. It's going down tonight.
You don't even know your informant's name.
Still, he hasn't been wrong before. I trust him.
If you say so, partner.
Shh. Look.
Several thuggish henchmen start emerging from around shipping containers and cars and start heading to the docks. They all look out toward the bay. Out of the bay rises a three-headed Hydra in a very fancy suit. Shot of Gray giving a silent gesture to Galente. The two get out of the car and sneak up on the meeting.
Gentlemen, I'm glad we could meet tonight. There is much to discuss.
Kite, would you play Lucy, please?
Okay, I'll try. Yeah, like how come we haven't seen our share of the profits from the product? We're losing patience, Hydra.
If you can't move the product, we can't keep sharing our real estate. We have other bidders. And my crew has almost nothing to distribute. What's going on, Hydra? Gray and Galente move up closer to the meeting.
My friends, where is the loyalty? Where is the love? For more than a decade, I've kept order on the streets. I've kept the cops off our backs. I've raised our profits time and time again. The tide ebbs and flows, my friends. It's how we weather the storm that matters.
That's not much of an answer, Hydra. Sorry, Lucy.
Then how about this for an answer? For months now, my side of the operation has been hindered by one particularly annoying do-good detective.
Shot of Gray sneaking closer and closer.
This particular detective thinks he can take down our entire syndicate just like that.
Gray listens intently.
But the truth is, he can't. I think it's time we welcome our guest, Detective Gray.
Go. Call for backup, Cal.
Sound of a weapon cocking. Comprehension dawns on Gray's mustard face. He raises his hands. Galente walks Gray out in front of the cruise.
You've been causing a lot of trouble for me and my friends, Detective. You actually managed to shut down one of our distribution facilities. You were a fool for thinking anyone would snitch on us, though. All it cost to stop you was the right amount of money and your partner's honor.
Gray spits a gob of mustard at Galente's feet.
I've had you over to my house, you son of a bitch.
I'll miss your wife's cooking, though. Oh, wait. Your wife's cooking, though I suppose I could still stop by once in a while. The kids need a new father figure, after all.
Gray lets out a yell, does a karate move, and grabs the gun out of Galente's hand. He shoots Galente, seemingly killing him. A shooting fight breaks out as Gray manages to find cover. Gray manages to wound Hydra in the fight. Gray makes it back to his car. As he calls for backup, we hear the sound of a gunshot. We see a crack appear on Gray's jaw. Fade to black. Aerial shot, New York City. An aerial shot of the New York City skyline.
Ah, yes, New York City. Good old NYC. The Big Apple. The BA. The City of Dreams. TCOD. By day, she's a hustling, bustling metropolis full of wonderful people. But by and well, day, she's got sickness. And that sickness is crime.
Exterior, New York City, hot dog cart. Shot of Carew. We see Carew as a giant purple catman in a beat cop uniform. Carew purchases a hot dog from the cart. He lifts it to his mouth. Ketchup drips onto his uniform. Carew lets out a light sigh, grabs some napkins, and begins wiping the ketchup off.
Ketchup? Sorry.
That's me, Carew, NYPD. Proud cop on the force, with big dreams of big justice. I love this job, and not a day goes by that I don't love what I do.
A crow flies on screen and grabs the hot dog from Carew's hand.
Hey!
Carew takes off, chasing after the crow. Exterior, bodega, shot of bodega, sounds of alarms blaring. A criminal in a ski mask bursts through the glass window of the bodega with a weapon in one hand and a sack of stolen goods in the other. He looks around and begins running. Shot of Carew. Shot of Carew running as he turns a corner and both he and the criminal bump into each other, sending both of them to the ground.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Carew gets up and helps the criminal up to his feet.
Are you okay, sir?
The criminal looks at Carew with quizzical disbelief. The crow with the hot dog flies back into view.
Oh, excuse me.
Carew takes off after the crow again. He makes it a few feet before pausing.
Wait a second.
POV, Carew's memory. Carew is helping the criminal up in slow motion. The weapon the criminal was carrying highlights. The mask highlights. The stolen goods highlight. Back to reality.
Wait a second.
Carew turns. The criminal has run off.
Hey, get back here!
Carew chases after the criminal. The criminal sees he's being chased and starts shoving people, and the street stalls over, causing a tremendous amount of damage. Carew jumps over the debris caused by the criminal. Exterior alleyway. The criminal runs down an alleyway. He hops a fence at the end of the alleyway and gets away. Carew runs into the alleyway and finds it empty. Dejected, Carew walks back out to the street. Exterior, New York City street. Carew exits the alleyway.
Okay, so maybe some days are tougher than others. But hey, this is just the start of the story. Things are about to change for the better.
The crow flies back into view and drops the hot dog onto Carew's head, making a mess. Carew sighs. Fade out. Interior, Captain Kitte's office. Kitte's office is a practical police captain's office with papers, a computer, files, etc. Several items litter the floor around her desk because she's a cat. Kitte sits at the desk glaring at Carew. Without breaking eye contact with Carew, Kitte slowly pushes a small bottle off the side of the desk. Kitte is cold and furious. Carew looks uncomfortable.
You had a thief.
Yes, Captain?
You had him on the ground.
Yes, Captain.
You apologized to him, helped him back up, and lost him.
If it helps, I didn't realize he was a thief until after that part.
Kitte blinks.
Right. That doesn't help. I see that now.
Kitte lets out a sigh, walks over to a scratching post, and begins a big scratch.
You know what, Carew? I think there's a position better suited to your talents than that of a beat cop.
Oh, I'm very happy being a beat cop, Captain.
Shh, shh, shh. There's a rumor going around about some new crime lord making waves in the underground. Calls himself GR. Had Detective Gray on it. You're going to help him.
Detective Gray? That mustard took down the depressed Hydra. The most infamous crime lord of the century.
Back when he was sober. Now he spends his days drinking ketchup and scaring off new detective. Scaring off new detective. You're going to help him investigate this.
It would be an honor, Captain Kenneth.
Oh, I'm glad you see it that way.
Kitte rolls on her back and starts playing with a dangling toy.
Because if this partnership doesn't work out, your time on the force is done. Understood?
Understood.
Good. Now get out of my office.
Carew gets up and leaves as Kitte plays with the dangling toy. Interior, bullpen. Carew emerges from Captain Kitte's office looking apprehensive into an active bullpen. Carew walks over to Gray's desk. Gray is slumped over the desk, passed out, a bottle of ketchup in his hand. Carew gently pokes Gray.
Detective Gray?
Gray jumps awake, startled and screaming.
Ah!
While Gray and Carew are screaming, it's an extended scream, Gray pulls out his police-issued gun and starts shooting at Carew, missing every shot, but leaving a comedic outline of bullet holes around Carew.
Ah!
Ah!
Shot of Kitte looking at them from her office. Kitte shutters her blinds.
Detective Gray?
Yeah.
I'm Officer Carew. Detective Carew now, I guess.
What do you want, new fish?
I'm a cat, actually. But, The captain assigned me to be your partner. I'm supposed to help you catch GR?
Forget it, kid. I'm a solo mustard. I don't do partners. Not anymore.
Listen, please give me a chance.
I can't, kid.
Look, I'm a big fan of yours. I've heard about how you took out Hydra.
Oh? Did they tell you I lost more than just my partner that day? Because I did.
Gray looks off into the distance. We hear sound effects and see vignettes of Gray's life going down the drain since the day he stopped Hydra. He struggles through physical therapy. His home forecloses. His wife and kids leave him. He turns to drink.
I lost everything that day. So, forget it, kid.
Now listen here. I'm sure if I could see whatever emotional journey you just remembered about your life, I'd be more emotionally invested in helping you put your life back together. But obviously I can't. So, that would be ridiculous. The captain said if I screw this up, my time on the force is over. So you're stuck with me, whether you like it or not. I'm going to help you stop GR with or without your help.
You got moxie, kid. I'll give you that. I guess I can't let you get yourself killed. Do you have any ideas where you'd start?
Well, no.
Well, there's only one thing to do.
What?
We're going to go see BMO.
And that's as far as I got.
I enjoyed it.
Well, we need to have BMO for the next one, obviously.
Yeah.
Right on, right on.
How the fuck am I in the water with a suit? It's gonna get ruined.
It's a
waterproof suit.
Okay.
It's a special suit.
Details.
Yeah. I just imagine the waterproof suit with multiple hats on each head and a Tommy gun under each of them. That was fucking amazing. It was very scuff, very cringe, and very lovely. It was beautiful. I love it.
It was very cringe, but not the writing, just the performance. That was awesome,
indeed.
Dorkus. That's amazing, man.
Yes, but it is our lovely cringe. Okay, that's the point.
There was discussion about whether we should practice it before we go live and do it, but we wanted everyone's live reaction. Well, Dorkus wanted everyone's live reaction as they found the story, instead of everyone having practiced it. So I mean,
indeed. Yeah, the first time I heard about any of this happening was just now.
I didn't even know this was a thing. Okay. Also, Kitty, for future reference, I'm sorry that I'm complaining, but you scrolling in the middle of me reading made it very difficult.
Oh, it was Dorkus.
Oh, Dorkus, how dare you? It's entirely your fault. Yes, I shall take my wrath out on the. But yeah,
we need prompts next time, Lucy. I'm sorry. I hope you missed me saying your lines, because I know I wanted to be Lucy acting as a baddie. So that's what I was trying to do, and it just didn't work out. And then also I can't read properly. Everybody else read really nicely and clearly, and then there's me.
You should have used a Jamaican accent.
Lucy, you did have lines. You're a criminal overlord who works with Hydra.
And you're sassy. You're so sassy, Lucy. You're just like, oh well, that doesn't sound like an answer. You don't. The crime lord is right there in his fancy suit in front of you, and you're just like, he's not satisfying he's not answering my questions properly. So
yeah, standing up to the Hydra. Yeah.
But yeah, Kite and Golente were the only ones that knew about this.
We need to have props next time. I'll get a captain's hat or something.
Hey, I wasn't the star as usual. Great, come on, you're discrediting others, okay?
I'm sorry, man. You're the draw. What can I say?
You had you were.
What happened?
We had to do it. Are you back, Charles?
Hello?
Did you miss it?
Hello?
Something happened. I don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's dimensional interference. Nobody understands what's exactly happening. So something very weird, something very cringe. Okay, you didn't miss out on anything.
Is the script over?
We snapped
Yeah,
into
unfortunately.
That's as far as
You have to go back.
as far as I got.
Oh,
You can go and watch.
It was a very good. I love the how you described the shots changing. That was great.
sorry, Galente. I won't tell you how I got my role, but
No, stop.
Well, you are the
Oh my
most
God,
professional
bad
here.
callback.
You know.
Guys, I need to go and check my teeth because I ate some pesto. What
Say
shall we
that
call-
slower.
Huh. We usually say pesto, but fair enough. I proudly pronounce it incorrectly.
While she's gone, I wanted to quickly address something. I saw something in the chat about people. Someone was complaining about my position. I wanted to clarify because I didn't get to flush out because we moved on to something far more interesting than my stupid positions on politics. It was what I meant was that a potentially overreaching shadow government would have been more effective for the purposes of preventing a world war or a global conflict by making cold and calculating decisions, while a flamboyant solo politician, on the other hand, would be better for gathering attention and creating the foundation for a campaign through media or other places. That's my boring-ass opinion that doesn't belong here. Now let's get on to the actually interesting part, which we're all here for, which is the Bond villain-esque, beautiful, this whatever this is. It's a I don't know what this beautifully grotesque child creation is, but I want to see it blossom into full adulthood. This script is fantastic. I love it.
I too want to apologize to
But I
those in the
want
chat.
more Hydra.
I don't like
But you're dead.
politics at all, and it's just frustrating that America's had the last 3 elections in a row. Just the worst. The worst.
Well, and this weird particular subject has like really gotten people on. Everyone's kind of viewing it from their political lens, it seems like, and even people who are above it. Calvin kind of pointed it out, but like Jonathan Haidt, who is the guy who has like the moral foundations theory, he kind of.
Can we get to that? Yeah.
Sure, if we're going back to it, then never mind. I'll just kind of stop talking about him. You would just think that he would be above it, since like one of the reasons of his book is to say that, you know, like we're just miscommunicating with each other. We have these different moral intuitions, and just depending on your political slant, you just favor certain ones differently. It seems like he would be able to view that particular statement in, you know, kind of, what would you call that? Like an aerial view where he could see it from the different camp. And with this statement, for some reason, he can't. And I don't know. It really got me off guard. I would have thought, you know, this dude would be impervious to that. But I don't know, man. This whole Trump thing.
Well,
it's weird.
I think what you mean
really
to say is not that he'd
people.
be impervious, but rather that he would be able to recognize when he's doing it and then stop doing it.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, obviously we all have it, and that's part of his book. He talks about, like, yeah, he does have this inner press secretary or whatever, but he was able to recognize when it's coming out. And his whole idea is kind of to be more honest. So I would think that he would be able to actually see this from a different perspective, hopefully, but it does not sound like he was able to, which is unfortunate. It led to a really weird interaction with Joe Rogan, actually.
Yeah. And what's interesting actually is that precisely because other people, as a politician rather, you should recognize that this word is going to trigger these kinds of polarizing responses in the general population. So you shouldn't use that word in particular.
For sure.
Or clarify what he means, or be precise with your word. I know it doesn't play. Doesn't pay. It's not good for a politician to be precise with their words because they're going to lose supporters. But you should, after the absolute shitstorm that the media created following January 6th, I would thought that you would be careful going anywhere near such things, or at least clarify.
You can even say
For
shit
sure.
show and be edgy. You can say shit show and be edgy. and
Yes,
still
you
be
can. You
spoken
could have
about
used so many
for
words that
that.
don't have the implication of potential violence behind them, and it could have been even like, listen, I can only see a politician kicking themselves in the balls so many times and not feel pity. Okay, I'm just like, man, what are you doing? It could have been. It was a perfect. You could have made a perfectly fine statement. Please, come on.
Well, let's show let us show the courtesy of Grey Poupet. Can you guys hear?
News. I mean, I'm sure you're aware of this recent Donald Trump speech where he talked about a bloodbath.
Oh God, yeah.
And what the actual phrase was. But see if you can find that, Jamie, because it's actually important to highlight how not just inaccurate, but it's just deceptive the media was in their depiction of what he said.
And Trump knows this. Trump knows it better than
quote
anyone.
Out of context and trying to.
Yeah, that is something to remember.
For
that
sure.
He knows this.
He should have been able.
He knows that there's people that are gonna defend him. So.
And
But
even
I
like,
think-
yeah, even
At
if
the same time, like, could you
what is it?
anticipate that they
Wait.
would just cut off like the last part of your statement though? Because
Yeah.
that seems to be how they're editing it. Like directly after he says that, then they would go to a different part in the speech.
Well, sure, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know
I
if you
think
could ever
that-
protect
well,
against that.
I don't think you
Yeah,
you
you
can't
can't.
protect against
Yeah.
that. And
But
let's
you
say
shouldn't
here
be-
he didn't plan on using that word, and he as he was talking, his brain, substituted in whatever phrase or word that he was going to use with bloodbath, and then you realize you've done that, right? So then you correct yourself, and or you clarify yourself, and say that it's going to be a bloodbath economically, right?
Financially.
You know what? I think
financially,
even if he said economically, people
It's
would
gonna be a
still-
bloodbath for the auto industry. I don't.
Yeah. If he could have said it like that, I think people would still make this even worse. They would still be saying what they're saying about it anyway.
Yes,
I think they would
that
say that.
but
no
it
matter
would have
what.
been an attempt would have been made.
Yeah, exactly.
You could have
If
said
you
this was gonna be a
if you
bloodbath for the
show
auto industry. Executive heads are gonna roll. People are gonna lose their jobs. I don't like. You could have said,
Say all of that. Heads are gonna roll.
Yeah.
That's what That's
If you are gonna go
figurative language.
bloodbath, at least you can lean into it or avoid it altogether. Don't get stuck in this uncomfortable middle
Yeah,
ground.
some supporters will do that. They're like, yeah, they are rabid that way. There's extremists on both sides. Okay, I can't do it. But anyway,
Don't go halfway. It's lame.
Say that there's going to be a civil war if he doesn't get elected, which is not what he was talking about at all.
Of course not.
Pull it up.
Hey, what do you guys think of at all there? I think I can see where.
Sorry for cutting you off. What can you see, Kitty?
No, I can see how you could see this both ways, but I'm like Carew. When I did hear it first, I didn't feel like I didn't go, oh, he means civil war, but I just meant, yeah, he just means it's gonna be a shit show. That's what I thought he was saying. He's not saying
that
it's
was
going to be
my interpretation.
It's not that he
It
literally
was
wasn't gonna. Yeah, I
Most
didn't
likely
think
what he meant. Yeah.
But yeah, a shit show. That's what he meant, not actual civil war. So I'm in this weird position where I know it's not about actual civil war, but I also feel like he wasn't talking about the auto industry only.
Yes, but then again, keep in mind that yabbering about civil war and evil Trump and he's gonna destroy us all, that's gonna get a lot of kicks, a lot of attention, and a lot of political crowd, and saying Trump holds speech about automobile industry.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna fucking care. See, that's the issue. That's the issue that fundamentally
also,
the way information traverses our society incentivizes lies and distortions.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
But also that could be the truth that he was referring to it being like a shit show or whatever. And yes, I think what Joe is talking about in terms of the media being dishonest, I think that there is credence to that in not so much dishonest, but actually like the leaning into the sensationalism, like you've just said, that nobody would give a shit, so we're going to talk about it like this. And then on the other hand, they don't talk about as much. They don't talk about how shit Biden is. It's taken years for them to start actually admitting that Biden's
For sure.
not
And
there.
certain networks and everything still won't quite, they still kind of sugarcoat everything. I don't know, when Joe Rogan is saying like in no way could it mean that, I don't know. I don't think he intended it that way, but I can see a possibility where he could see it. It seems like that's one polarized thing. Like there is no way that he could mean that. Where unfortunately Jonathan Haidt is going to take the opposite position, that there's no way he means anything other than civil war. I think both are kind of extremes. I think there's a possibility that he said something super inflammatory that could be interpreted as, it could lead to even bigger troubles than the financial center. And maybe this is like a fiery way of saying that. So I don't know. I'm not positive, but I don't think that's what he intended. But that in no way it just seems a bit far.
I think, yeah, and I don't think that that any of us are in denial that there are Trump supporters that could be as rabid as hearing that and taking that as, he wants.
A lot of people are stupid. Don't ever underestimate it. Of course, there are a lot of stupid people. There are a lot of people who just want violence, and there are a lot of people who just want to lie for money. So of course that makes everything more difficult and everything more a grave-riding mess. And it's hard to make out what anyone actually means when people are trying to make sure that you can't do that.
And that's the criticism as well. People are trying to make sure that you can't make sense of things. That's the criticism that Joe kind of has, but of course, yeah, the in no way, yeah, I don't know. I disagree.
Let's play the actual speech.
To China, if you're listening,
China.
President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal. Those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us. Now, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line.
So you can see now, you guys criticize that policy there, but on the face of it, to people at the rally or whatever it is, they go, "Yay!" because America's first. That's
but isn't that
because it fits the motto.
Capitalism?
Oh, but it's for them. You see it. It's
I see.
No, the "Make America Great Again" part trumps the capitalism part.
Do as I say, not as I do. Love it. Love it.
Was Joe?
Listen, he can still let's listen to him, okay? Maybe he'll explain why this is the correct decision.
Maybe he'll not just talk.
No, he'll explain.
That is exactly it. That's why I'm saying, he could get media training, and I'm telling you, nothing will fucking happen. He's just.
But he could also get media training and become insanely powerful. I would love to see the Trump that actually harnesses this power. It would be insane.
You're right. Like I'm saying, he could have said shit show, because that gives people enough. Or it's presidential, and they can be all pissed off about that. But they don't get to say he's talking about civil war. They don't get to say that.
The whole unpresidential thing, then he could hop on and say, we need an unpresidential president. Please look at what all of these unpresidential presidents have done. They have no charisma. They can't do anything. He would fit right into the narrative. He could have so powerful speeches, and if he just he doesn't even require to change that much. Just a little bit how he behaves, just a little bit of tweaking on his policies and how he goes about things. Not even the goals, just how he goes about achieving those goals. And he would become nigh unstoppable. And it's so funny that it's why is that? This is why I think we are not living in the worst or the best universe, because he is just nerfed. I'm sorry.
He's nerfed. Okay. That's an interesting.
That's just my point of view again, but it's he has untapped potential for unparalleled good or evil within him. This man is weird. He is the anomaly. Yeah.
And you're not going to be able to sell those guys if I get elected. Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it. If this election is
okay, yeah, I see where the whole thing comes from. That cut is going to be that's I don't like that cut immediately after. Yeah,
they watch it again without the cut. But yeah, that's no matter who you do it to, don't do that, media. We want. That's what media's. I'm a sweet summer child, but I would like to just have the news. That's it.
Not sure that you'll ever have another election in this country.
That's a bit scary as well.
Does that make sense? I don't think you're going to have another election in this country. If we don't win this election, I don't think you're going to have another election, or certainly not an election that's meaningful. And we better get out, or we better. I actually say that the date, remember this, November 5th, I believe it's going to be the most important date in the history of our country. I believe that.
So that's what he said.
Well, that sounds pretty bad. That
It
sounds like
sounds-
the Flight 93 election argument,
what
that if I
he
don't
was-
win, the country's over.
But what he's talking about is this subversion of our economy and the subversion of our democracy, that we will never have an election again. I don't think he's saying
for a
it'll
little
be
bit. I've seen people talk in chat about how it's not his fault because the media will misrepresent him anyway. Yes, but the misrepresentation can only be made up from the fragments of what he ultimately says. So it's not fair for him to expect he could have just prevented. He could have just made so that he can't be misrepresented at all. No, he will always be misrepresented by some because it's really, really.
But he makes it really easy.
But he makes it too easy, and
very
ultimately,
easy.
everything that speaks out of his speech is like. I could be easily misrepresented because I use flamboyant and exaggerative language sometimes because it's just part of how I speak or how I make jokes or when I did a Hitler impression, etc. But I would never say that, see, I put effort into so that people can't misrepresent me, or I wouldn't, you can take preventative measures is what I'm saying. If you know that there are groups of people out there to get you for money, to lie about you, there are at least a couple of steps that you can take to make their job a little bit harder. Not easier, harder.
That's all, yeah. You know it's going to happen, but so don't step exactly how they want you to. Don't do that. But yeah, that's why it's like he's not using that power. He's not using it in an intelligent way at all. He's just running his mouth, basically.
Yeah, and of course it's a different standard because he's a presidential candidate, was a president, etc. So he's going to be constantly under media attention, and everybody's going to look at what he says with a microscope. But still, ultimately, his words are his alone, and at least he could have tried a bit harder. That's ultimately what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do think he's leaning into it. I do think he's actually he feels so righteous about it that he's gone harder. He's like they need to stop misinterpreting me or whatever, and therefore I'm going to just say whatever the hell I want. I'm not going to bend to their needs, and it's about the ego of the man. He's not going to. There's no ambiguity.
Yeah, I've kind of been going back and forth with Benjamin in that. I don't feel like I'm quite explaining myself correctly. So I don't think he called for any sort of violence or anything like that, but it's an inflammatory statement. Like it's meant to have some sort of reaction. Otherwise, he would have said like the economy will be it will be detrimental to the economy. Something
That's not
along
a good
those
speech.
lines.
Yeah,
no, for sure. And adding this gives that fiery element. But unfortunately, that fiery speech could be interpreted in different ways. So that's why I'm saying there could be a modicum of ambiguity in there where somebody could interpret this differently. And I think when you look at the media, they are interpreting this differently. Now, where I think it becomes super dishonest is when they tack off the last part of what he's saying and just use part of that to prove their point. They're going to go over that in a second, but I do lean in the same camp that you are, saying that this is not him calling for a civil war. However, I can see how somebody could misconstrue that way. And I think the fiery, I don't know what you want to call that, the charged rhetoric that he's using in this particular way lead to that sort of possible misinterpretation. But the fact that there is a modicum of ambiguity, I think it would be mind reading to say 100% there's no way he meant that. Well, I don't think that he would mean that, but I can't say 100% without a doubt that there's no shot that he would do that.
We cannot read his mind. And also,
and then Benjamin was saying that it's mind reading only one way. If you're saying that any way that you read it other than no, he meant the economy is mind reading. I would argue that's also mind reading. Any way that you say it's a little bit ambiguous, so I'm not 100% certain, I think would be not mind reading. So I don't know. I'm a little confused when you were saying that I was doing mind reading there, but sorry. That was my weird side conversation with Benjamin, apparently one way.
Yeah, it's not just that, he needs to it's clear that no matter what he does, the media is always going to do this to him. But again, his words
I agree with that, for
are
sure.
his alone. And yes, people will always be like, there will always be people who are made, that will be formed, essentially, that there will be no ambiguity in their mind that this person is the second coming of the devil or something. Like, there will be people who will always interpret everything he says in the worst fucking way possible, and he can't do anything about it. But what he can do is attempt to make the job of those that seek his downfall harder. And that lack of basic political self-preservation, or just trying to... I don't see an attempt. That's what's bothering me.
Well, I'm with Lucy on this, that he doesn't, you don't want to bend to the needs of the media, so people that you hate, but help your constituents. He's making he's making that ambiguity, he's making it possible. It's just, it doesn't help him out. That's all you need. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I was trying to wake up Charles, and Charles is asleep now.
No,
well, it's not...
Finch has it dead on. This is bad for my mental health.
He's so done with it.
It's going to be destroyed.
But there was no. I was listening for that. I was thinking maybe he meant it as a metaphor.
Speech.
I didn't hear any. I mean, the bloodbath is.
It's an unfortunate term, but what he's not. I don't think he's saying it's a civil war.
It sounded to me like he was. It sounded to me like, if he does.
That's the cut. By give us the original that doesn't have the cut immediately after the bloodbath, please. That video doesn't have
civil war.
It sounded to me like he was. It sounded to me like, if he doesn't win, there will be violence.
Right.
You have to really give him a hell of a lot of benefit of the doubt.
He's talking about the economy.
He was talking about no, it was
he's talking about China building plants. He's talking about all these things and saying that if he doesn't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a mess. I don't think he's specific.
He's sort of
from the context.
Shit show.
Yeah, from the context, we can infer that he meant it economically, but the video was edited, I think, in a way that makes a charitable interpretation harder. And that's why.
Well, do you think he would, if he heard the whole context, do you think he would be more charitable?
No, but it would have been harder for him to present an argument against it.
Misrepresentation, I find a bit of a curious thing, considering it's Joe Rogan. That's
yeah, true.
Hey, it's technically Jamie. He's pulling up the things. Jamie's pretty good with the clips.
And when Joe Rogan misrepresented a mental issue to Biden, and Jamie brought it up and showed him that it was actually Trump who said those things, he just kind of shrugged it off like, oh, okay. It was a 2-minute bit.
Saying, man. Jamie is the man. He fact checks him in real time. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not saying Jamie's great, but he is able to pull up the full clip in real time, and I've heard him check Joe quite a few times. Yeah,
I can respect the pull-up man. Yes.
Elaborate on that if he was saying there'll be violence. I don't think that's what he's saying. I think he's saying destruction of our economy, the destruction of our...
he makes a lot of asides. So he was talking about the economy, that's true. And then he said, if I'm not elected, and then he makes an aside about what would happen to the country if he... So look, we might disagree on this. We surely disagree on our priors.
It's surely the wrong way to say it. Surely. We both agree on that.
Yeah.
It's an unfortunate term to use.
For him to, yes, that's right. But it doesn't sound to me as though the media took that one out of context.
I just rewatched the longer video in closed captioning. It cut it off. The video we watched cuts it off right after he says bloodbath. Continue to say
that's it. Get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole... That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it. But they're not going to sell those cars. They're building massive factories. A friend of mine, all he does is build car manufacturing.
Okay, so he's back on the economy.
Yeah, he was talking about
but he made, but the aside was not about the economy. The aside was him making one of these typical asides about how.
Okay, that's the issue.
Yeah. I don't agree with that.
So the thing is that this person I think it's pretty clear that he's primed against Trump, and for him it was easier to interpret that he switched topics a little bit in the middle of the speech to hammer this really important thing home, and then went back on the cars, when most likely what actually happened is that he was talking about the cars the whole way through. And that was most likely the case, because knowing Trump and how much of just fiery he can be, I think if he was really talking about, oh, if I don't get reelected, he would have gone more in depth, and you would have used even more intense language if that's what he wanted to hammer home. I think that's what would have happened if he really meant it.
Yeah, what he's like. Yeah.
So that is why I ultimately think that he was talking about the economy the whole way through. But again, that's just me, and I could be wrong. That's my point of view. Evidence always wins in the end of the day. Provide contrary stuff if anyone can.
I think you were saying that you heard it different, Charles. Did you?
I'm sorry?
Did I hear you say that you heard it differently? Or I might have mistaken Jonathan Haidt's objection to yours. I thought I heard you object right after his
I disagree with the man who's on screen right now, how he interpreted that.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
The bloodbath comment. I don't agree with that.
When I heard disagree, I thought you were disagreeing with Rogan. So I was going to ask you, like,
no.
Okay, how did you interpret that?
No, I agree.
I don't know.
I agree with what Joe Rogan is saying here. But like the man's history is troubling. So there's certain things that like you got to be aware of. Well, like I don't know.
It's a long and very curved history. Yeah, but
how would you have said it? What do you think he means?
Was I responsible for people overtaking the Capitol for the first time in American history? Because if that's the case, then I'd probably be careful with some terminology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, how he got in that position was using some rather loose terminology as well and inflammatory. So I don't know, like, would he have the same appeal if he's not doing that, if he's not as bombastic?
No. He can still be bombastic without using words that can be misinterpreted as violence or intentionally misconstrued. He knows that there are people who are after him and want to make him look like the villain at all times. He can fuck with them and maintain the fanboy person at the same time. It's not impossible. I've seen it done. You can do it. That is why I'm saying Trump is nerfed. If he could pull off both of those, he would be far more powerful, but he can't for some reason. I don't know why.
He's not smart.
The problem with the rhetoric, and there is precedence for things like that, and putting your completely rinsing the RNC and putting your daughter-in-law to head that organization looks. Listen, I'm not saying it, but I'm saying I understand the left overreacts 1,000%, but no favors are being done by just pulling pardon the rhetoric, a night of 1,000 knives with the RNC. Like, so much of it feels Hitlery because it's very similar to something we've experienced already. The rhetoric, there's reasons people didn't use stain the blood. Like, I don't know. This hurts. I would like to be rooting for one of the presidential candidates, and I can't and don't.
I mean, Kanye 2024.
He's just as mentally aware as I am.
I like his famous quote, that's kind of hurts. That when you say that, when you say I like Hitler, it kind of ruins your chances of becoming a president. But that it may be just me.
Well, he never said
his rhetoric
bloodbath.
Good. You stole my joke, Ray.
Look, once we finish this clip, I will show the just the clip of the bloodbath used by the media. Okay.
All right, Joe, I think we're not going to settle this. Yeah. I think, look, I do agree that the media, as a progressive left-leaning institution like universities, has violated its duty many times to the truth and thereby lost the trust of much of the country. Most of the people who work in these industries, I think, are wonderful and are trying to do a good job. But the net effect, and this is my point about structural stupidity, during our culture war, institutions that have had very little viewpoint diversity have been subject to hijacking by those with a political agenda. So I agree with you about that, although I disagree with you about what that comment from Donald Trump meant. It sounded to me like it was not taken out of context.
Well, he was talking about...
I still don't think it was freaking civil war. If it was civil war, maybe I would think about it, but not...
About the...
he literally wrote a book on this, though, like The Righteous Mind. He's talking about how like we kind of alienate each other and refuse to kind of see things through the other person's perspective. And oftentimes when you look at what kind of moral intuitions drive them, you can see the issue from their side. In this one, I don't know.
Yes, because
it
his
feels like
own bias is too strong. He built a method that is pretty interesting and logical and good, but he's still a human with a human mind, and he got, and his own bias gets in the way of him applying his own logic and rules. I
can understand how he's seeing it that way, that somehow he's talking about the economy and then does an aside to talk about how we need a civil war and then back to the economy. I guess I can see chaotic. That. It just doesn't seem very probable.
He's that chaotic, but he could have gone harder if he actually wanted to talk about it.
That is a very good argument for me, that because if he saw that people went woo when he said that, then he would carry on and he would...
Yeah.
One of the things that I noticed...
He likes to play to the crowd.
Yeah, with him is that he would like hardly ever finish sentences because he sees how somebody it like reacts to it, and then he starts adding to it. He just throws on more words, and that's what I noticed.
He wouldn't have abandoned the high of the crowd.
Yeah.
To go back to talking about cars, but you know.
So, but and you know what? The more I think of this, like the first thing I thought was like, why didn't he say shit show? And I'm just thinking they would have kind of done the same thing. It just wouldn't have been as strong. Blood, at least he has the literally the visual of blood and violence that helps. Like a shit show, at least it would be like they would try to say, oh, he's implying a civil war, and they would probably carry on with that. This one's a lot more stronger. This word.
So I have a question. From the use of the word bloodbath, how many votes do you think he lost versus gained from this one incident alone?
I have no fucking idea. I would need to see like a lot of evidence and studies and hard data for that, but just guessing, my guesswork is piss in the wind. It's worth nothing.
Wait,
but yeah, I don't know.
I clicked out for a second. What was the first half of?
Do you think any votes were either lost or gained from the bloodbath comment?
And if so, how many? Yeah,
really
gained because the media is ridiculous.
No. Right now, and you think that Trump gained votes using the word bloodbath because of the media's response to the word rather than the word itself?
Yes.
I do think that if votes were gained,
the media response.
It was definitely because, again, people see the media as being fucking hilariously stupid or just plainly evil, and not necessarily because Trump used this word. It was how the reaction happened and what it elicited, what was more important than the word itself. I don't think this was like a...
See, the problem is the media had a bunch of self-reflecting after 2016, and they're like, oh, we created this monster. And it's like, hey, you're doing it again, you fucking idiots.
Yes,
Ignore him.
Yeah.
Watch what happens.
It seems to me the people that might be predisposed to believe the media's lies would have already made the decision not to vote for him. Whereas the people who wouldn't be decided one way or the other might easily see the lie and be more galvanized toward voting for rather than against.
Or at least more convinced of the media's wrongdoings. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Or at least be more inclined to not trust the media further, and maybe disengage from society in that you don't vote. I don't know what it's like in America.
Or just not listen to media, really. Yeah, it's like again, we can see the media doing their own media thing and being ridiculous nowadays, but it's not. That was the more important part of the event, definitely. I think not the word itself and him using it, but the reaction to it.
I do want
when
to
you talk about how it is in America, at this point, we basically just choose the news we want to hear.
Yep.
But in terms of voting, what's the attitude like there? Is everyone voting?
I mean, yeah, I guess every last election has been the most important election of our lives or something. So I don't know.
Terrible.
Yeah, I think we're told vote or die or something.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, is it stigmatized when you don't vote? Like, if you
No, 2/3 of the country doesn't vote.
Okay,
Yeah.
so-
Well, I mean, some of them can't legally, but fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know of anyone that really gets like stigmatized that like, no, I have an opinion on the country, but I didn't vote. I mean, somebody might say something to them, but no, I don't think anyone really cares since it's sort of secretive anyway. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I think people are
like-
definitely polarized in this thing, so they don't seem to like the opposition.
Yeah.
I remember it being, look, one of the things when you have shitty choices is people don't vote. That's that but actually their lack of vote becomes a vote for whoever of the shittiest choices has more people. So your lack of vote is still a vote it still sways things. So that's what we're expecting, what I'm expecting in South Africa. We also have an election this year, and people don't want to vote for the other parties, but they are really pissed off with the current ruling party, so they're not going to vote for it.
So in the U.S., we're getting there. They made marijuana legal in a bunch of states. If we're going to have to put up with,
I think 28 currently.
Nice, almost more than half.
Randomly, yeah, whatever.
If we're going to have to keep putting up with this disgusting cycle between the media and the politicians, they're going to have to start legalizing more harder drugs. And I'm down with that.
Well, Andrew's people have tried that. I don't know if that's going to work out so well.
How did it work out? Yeah.
Andrew's people?
Yeah,
the cats?
The Oregonians.
Oh, is it legal there? I'll move there. Fuck it.
Yeah, it was all legal for a minute.
A minute. It's over.
I think they're kind of rolling some of that back, but Carew would definitely be better to talk about the, as Lucifer's pointing out, the legalized crack. But yeah, they kind of legalized everything there for a minute.
Yeah.
I think they're rolling it back.
I'm going to need super downers or uppers. Wait, I don't even know what.
Drugs.
Yeah. I want to not feel life.
Sorry, they didn't legalize it. They decriminalized it. I guess there is a distinction. My bad.
Yeah. Yeah, you won't get arrested if you have it on you.
Much like
in the side,
even
he
after.
wasn't.
So, yeah.
I think Charles will vote if you give him a joint.
All you would need to do is convert, like, I think 5% of Republicans to Democrats or Democrats to Republicans for that particular side to never win an election ever again. So that's something. It's Listen, I have a couple of ideas for some interesting strategies. Anyone listen over out there, any Democrats or Republicans campaigning, you can hire me, okay? I have ideas to convert the opposition's voters.
So just to end this topic off, here is the bloodbath.
That man's handsome.
But as Politico.com reports tonight on the, quote, bloodbath at the RNC, headlines calling it a, quote, bloodbath. Be a bloodbath. Not only is it going to be a bloodbath, but after they leave New Hampshire, it's a bloodbath on her home turf. That's really tough. He's left a lot of corpses in his wake. I mean, we can count the bodies as part of the, quote, MAGA drive to take over Maricopa County. And the headline refers to it as an impending bloodbath. Columnist Charles Blow has a new piece for the New York Times entitled A Biden Bloodbath.
They're jumping the same road, up and down, up and down. This is a pogo.
Now this is them. It goes from talking about Trump, they actually use it themselves.
Midterms, you can bet that they 100% are fearing a slaughter.
It's literally their job. Be scared, be afraid, be violent, be scared, be afraid, etc. That's what you. As long as the cash rolls in, they will continue saying this.
And massacre come up frequently.
Bloodbath and massacre, boys.
The Republican Party will be destroyed. It's going to be a bloodbath. There's going to be a bloodbath one way or the other.
Bloodbath for Bernie Sanders. It's been a bloodbath. They're shaping up to be a bloodbath.
Head off a bloodbath in next year's crucial midterm.
Off here.
How is Don Lemon just so smug no matter what he's saying? I can't handle him.
Their elections are often a bloodbath.
This week's bloodbath for Democrats, a bloodbath at the ballot box.
There could be a Republican.
Oh my God, just looking at Joy made me angry. I hate that person.
I have to talk about you. And it's going to be a bloodbath all day long. Is in for a bloodbath.
Hasn't been a bloodbath on the way down with Donald Trump bloodbath.
My goodness gracious.
I'm actually gonna have a clip of V. I love that.
Mike on the way
My
down with
goodness
Donald
gracious.
Trump bloodbath.
My goodness gracious.
And that Romanian man appears in the
My
corner of the
goodness
screen.
My goodness gracious. Okay, so that was just the last bit there. Final thoughts on Bloodbath?
Can an argument be made that the president of the United States is a bit more responsible than the media?
That is sad. That is very fucking sad. But an argument is possible. Although I would argue, I would like to have an argument on that topic. But
Fucking
even
hell.
the fact that we are going there is very fucking funny.
Yeah, I mean, ideally you'd want them to lead by example. So
Yes.
even if it's not required, you'd kind of hope. But yeah, I don't know. That might be asking a bit much.
I hate life.
Well,
Let me join you in your hatred.
yeah, we stay with it though.
Oh no, I just I'm fine here in the UK. When I go home, it's going to be less fun.
Okay, so speaking of.
Oh yeah, yes, Neuralink.
Yes, nice. Two sides fighting about games.
A reason to hope.
Okay, so there was I went into the replies for this, and there were some controversies and people, just Elon haters that they don't want anything good coming from Elon Musk.
He could help a bit with his own messaging. Like when he put out that tweet about like Neuralink and the initial results look good, it looked eerily like the people modded that message into horror video games where you can like find that note before a monster transform or something, because it looked exactly like one of those notes you would find at the beginning of like some alien-esque story of like the experiment is going along well. So far, it exceeds all known parameters. Like it's legitimately, again, some of these incredibly rich and influential and powerful people. How come you haven't had media training? I know it's just a tweet, but still, I'm sorry. You have so much money to spare. They don't give a fuck. But they didn't optimize themselves. Why?
They know better. That's why they know better. So that's the thing. These two egos that they know better. So no matter what they've been trained to say, they'll be a bit edgy.
Can anybody be an adult? Can anybody be an adult?
No.
No, especially not the president or
Asking for
the richest and most powerful people in the world. That would be too easy.
Thank you, darling. I can't stand his face. I just can't stand his face.
I don't know. He reminds me of that elf guy from the Lord of the Rings show.
It's just because he's past his prime, that's all.
I look at him in positive light. I kind of view him as an elf now. I like that.
I like that. I'm okay. I can look at the elf without like getting upset. But I look at Don Lemon and I'm like, it makes me angry immediately. I just don't like it. Okay.
I think it just became intuitive for me to start imagining the cursor moving. Basically, it was like using the force on a cursor, and I could get it to move wherever I wanted. Just stare somewhere in the screen, and it would move where I wanted it to, which was such a wild. I think it just became intuitive for me.
It's 19 seconds, right? Then there was, all of the responses here.
Is it like
with Windows 95?
I wish I would have explained better because it sounds fascinating. Is it like looks or with
Doesn't it just sound like eye tracking technology at this point? Like certain streamers have that for like don't laugh challenges. Like I think you could move a chess piece with that as well.
Yeah, that's what makes the difference. The difference is if it just goes where it looks, then it's not really great. It's not good, not better than far cheaper and easier and safer tech. But if it goes where he focuses, that's big. But of course, that's the big difference that everyone should pay attention to.
They're arguing about in the replies here is that there was this thing. So I went to this paralyzed man uses thoughts to move cursor. So this was in 2006. Okay, so people. Then what happened is enjoy your Cranian read at 2000, dude. 20 years they haven't reduced the size factor at all. But so this is what it was like. So they're kind of trying to defend what it is now, say, look, we've improved it, or they're doing something different, versus what they had here, which was, that is the thing that we're using.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to know more exactly the method, what's difference.
Yeah.
But again, these people on Twitter, you're not gonna find these conversations. I'm interested in a conversation of like, what changed? What was the old method? What's the new method? Why is Neuralink different? What does it use? How does it read your thoughts or your focus? What exactly parts of the brain is it connected to? This is a fascinating conversation that I would love to have with a civilized human person, but the men children on Twitter are not interested.
Why is Weinstein trending?
I don't know. I'm scared to look.
Just don't look on Twitter, okay? Just don't. No,
Too late.
I'm scared, but
I hate my eyes. Oh.
So you know what? Everything that happens with this becomes a.
Oh, we lost someone.
Great.
No more mustard.
Hey, it's out.
No. Who's gonna catch the villain now?
Yeah.
Also, I don't, how it started, how it's going. Look at this thing. What is this?
It's Pong and chess.
No, but he's the monkey. The baboon monkey thing is playing it.
With the tongue or mouth? I don't like. Again, I want to know more. I want to know more. I need more information.
Yeah, let's see. Do you want some reliable? No. Just the bots. Do you know what happens to monkeys after? Yes, they kill the. Anyway. So look, this is what's this? Even if someone has never had vision ever, like they were born blind, we believe that we could still restore vision using Neuralink. Okay, that's quite a claim. So
it's been said that people who are born blind dream and can see in their dreams.
If they have the necessary brain functions, yes,
yeah, if you
of
have
course.
the necessary, yeah.
You can even see colors with your brain that you can't with your eyes, of course. They are called chimera colors. Like, it's possible to, your brain has the ability to see far more than even the healthiest eye can. So yes, the possibility is there.
Thank you, Drew.
Lucifer's super chat, someone fixed Gray's voice, made Gray leave.
So, oh no.
Oh wait, we have mustard. We have a mustard.
He's back somehow.
Yeah, somehow Gray has returned.
I don't know where Dorkus went.
I am whole grain mustard. Do not compare me to that weak Gray Poupet.
So look, this became an Elon Musk thing, but let's talk about what it actually means. Like, this is good, right? But it is scary.
The implications, if we assume that everything goes as well as possible, that it's going to be as powerful, if you say it's going to go exactly along to Elon's expectations, then we could have a theoretical, philosophical talk about what it could develop to. Like, it could be scary, maybe.
Lucy for $5 says, Gray, you're perfect just the way you are. So just come on back, Gray.
Yes.
Is that candy or bubble gum in that image?
What?
This?
Where?
Whole grain mustard.
It look no.
Oh, there, bubble gum.
It looks like, is it?
Looks like bubble gum, yeah. She's
it's like a perfect circle.
It's beautiful.
Hearts?
No, that's not the text. Your profile pic, Lucy.
We're talking about your profile picture.
Yeah.
Gum. Yeah, that's gum. That's
neither.
Perfectly blown. Sorry.
Hearts again.
Neither.
The picture, not the text.
Oh, in my picture. There we go. Yeah.
Why do you eat
Look,
hearts?
she summoned Gray back.
Hello.
Hello.
Fight. It's on.
We've got a mirror match. Somebody put health bars on the screen.
It's gum, she said.
Round 2. Fight.
It's a rather perfect circle.
Let's go.
Or bubble. Sorry.
Look, if we merge Neuralink, going back, if we merge Neuralink with like the goggles and stuff, for other people, we will remove ourselves from the real world, and that will be worse. That's the scary part for me. I'm just like, And again, also one of the replies in the on this thread, somebody was like, well, imagine you doing some sort of presentation through Neuralink, and then you have intrusive thoughts about porn or something, and then
oh god, and that's the violation of like brain to real world projections are terrible. The implications are really bad.
Like, yeah, it's kind of trying to figure out whether telepathy is a thing, like whether we can do some sort of brain communication with each other. But
are you ready for? Sorry, are you ready for my final form?
Go.
Oh boy.
Oh no!
Oh no!
How can I compete with the final form? Like my only evolution was the pompadour. I don't know.
Don't you have a box version to put some armor on? You know, from the box stream.
What? Lucifer's. Oh, they are very cute.
They both have their ults active.
I feel
They both have their ults active. Well, so are we gonna do a round of Gartic Bone? What would you guys like to do? Wait, have I gotten through everything?
Love to.
Yeah, we've gone through everything. Shall we Gartic Bone, everybody?
Sure.
Hopefully I won't have to leave in the middle of it.
Imagine how good Garlic Phone would be if we did Neuralink Garlic Phone.
Oh. I don't want to draw.
It would be nearly seamless. Yeah, it would be so great. Like,
no, like literally, I don't want to draw.
So do you want to? Shall we just do story?
I forgot about the other options.
Sure.
Nah, he doesn't want
that
to play
is your
Gartic
option of not
Phone,
drawing.
guys. Charles, you may leave if you would.
Okay.
You won't force
Oh
you.
wait, his internet is going out.
You don't have to stay if you don't
I
want
know.
to for this part.
I like having fun though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's trouble, isn't it? The people
And
that
it's
tend to
fun
have that
after-
instinct, and it's gonna be annoying and problematic.
I don't have all the lore either, so that's the problem. Oh,
Hi, Multi.
Sally the snail and fucking Pickle Man.
Don't worry, you added to the lore substantially since you arrived.
Me and my testicles.
You know about Pickle Man.
Yeah, your testicles are part of the law.
What a bizarre journey
They
we've
always
taken
are.
today.
So he doesn't want to draw. So what shall we?
No,
do?
don't make me be the pain in the ass.
Background animations with a context. Create a fixed background for your animations. Nah, I don't know. That will be.
We can draw. I just suck.
Ooh. We got
What is this?
Finch.
Start writing and keep drawing until the end.
Nice.
Finally describe
Charlie
the last
Pink.
drawing. Okay, I don't know what
Or-
this
That's
is.
me. I'm Mr. Pink.
Yeah, or compliments. Whatever. I'm up for
Complete the
whatever.
sketch. Start with basic lines and see the other player's interpretation.
Or secret. Secret sounds fun.
All the actions are a
Secret.
mystery. Drawings and sentences are hidden during the game. Okay, let's go. Let's do it.
Wait,
What's happening?
how is that?
I don't know.
So we just don't see
Let's-
anything?
Let's
All right.
see. Then you
I-
guys have to not. You guys
Peekaboo?
can't look at my screen.
We're playing peekaboo?
We're not.
Apparently.
You're not supposed to peekaboo.
Oh.
Hey, MSK. Okay, fine. I'll do that. MSK with the first X chat ever. How you doing? That's awful. We tried it before.
Oh
It is
no,
actually-
dots! I can't write because of dots. I can't see what I'm writing. Oh, that's
Oh.
lame.
Wow.
Oh.
That was not good. Okay.
What's?
Okay.
How the fuck am I supposed to
What
draw
is
I
this?
see what's up.
What is happening?
Yeah, back out of this. No. No.
This is no.
This is
no,
worse
no,
than
no,
drawing.
No, 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 no,
How-
no, no,
how
no,
do
no,
we-
no, 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 no. I'm not touching this. No.
So I think you're on the fence about this?
Oh, you are very perceptive. How did you acquire that knowledge? Can you tell me?
Look what it does.
I'm intuitive.
Yeah, no.
It's hiding what you
Back
draw.
out of
It's worse than regular
This
drawing.
is
It's
bad.
terrible. It's oh god.
I don't know
no.
how to get out. We have to exit it all and just get a new link.
Get a new link. Yeah, that's the
If we
fastest way.
all click done and just
Yes.
click done repeatedly, it will
Okay.
skip the timer.
Yes.
So
Okay, everybody everybody click done.
I'm trying to.
But only hit it
no,
once.
It doesn't let
You hit
me.
it twice.
It has to wait. The timer has to tick down.
Oh, I was wrong then.
It was worth a try.
It keeps switching back and forth. If you look at the number, like
Is
it's
that Charles?
twitching between 5 and 6.
What's the matter?
I don't know when something.
Oh wow.
Let's Kitty just start a new one, okay? It's gonna be easier.
Wait, how is there a picture?
I don't know if you can.
Someone is good at blindly drawing. Let's.
What?
I'm just pressing done. Just everybody, we need to get through this round. I don't know how to stop this train.
Okay.
We don't know how to stop the monster we have created.
We can only hope to contain it.
Darling tried to stop
Well, I'm trying to give little treats for the next person to see. But fair enough. I'll stop.
Oh, we're trying. We're
Darling
not supposed to be
did try.
trying. I see.
One more person needs to press done, apparently.
Wait, is my stylus not working?
And
It
people
was
are joining
Dorkus
us
all
now.
along.
That's gonna be an
Stylus.
amazing introduction.
We are playing Garlic Phone.
And we are messed up and chose the wrong one, and we don't know how to back out of it. Yes.
Boy, take a stand.
Is this gonna take
Oh dear, something.
Somebody click done. Okay, I'm gonna start a new one.
Yes, thank you.
It's for me.
Oh, hello.
Sorry, guys. Phone's ringing.
Okay.
Smells like garlic.
Every time it
I'm
rings,
so
it's
mad.
just-
I'm drawing important stuff, and apparently my stylus has decided that it's going to do something on a different screen rather than the drawing pad.
Based. It's rebelling.
Okay, new link going into the chat now. And into the chat.
Neuralink is in the chat?
New link.
God, imagine if we use Neuralink to play Gartic Phone and the intrusive force one.
I
Oh
would
God.
prefer.
We would have true Gartic phone.
The Gartic Phone Cinematic Universe. Oh, advertisement. Come on.
Not everybody's come across. There were 8 players before.
I'm in an ad.
I've got
just
Raid
gonna
Shadow
play-
Legends all up my face.
Oh, congrats.
Let's just do normal.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's definitely not do that
Yes.
secret one.
Ever again.
Okay, are we all here? I think we're all here.
Wait,
I
is there
think
a new
we
link?
had 8, so I think we're missing
Oh,
Hold
yeah.
on.
someone.
Why?
What?
Wait, we don't have Dorkus.
Yeah.
Dorkus
I'm
needs
coming, I'm
it.
coming.
Yes, we have
Site
Dorkus.
can't be reached.
No.
Oh no!
Hold
So
on.
wait, you've got to do it with a mouse like the rest of us?
Yes. My drawing pad is away, so.
Dorkus is getting
I
nerfed.
think
Right now.
okay, I'm in.
There he
I'm
is.
in.
There we go.
Cheating.
Okay, are we all
Let me
here?
go get my easel.
Jeez.
Pardon. Hold on.
I think we're all in.
Yeah, I probably have to upgrade my driver.
Driver. Upgrade your driver, huh? I caught it.
Okay.
Oh wait, sorry guys. Sorry. The staple. I'm gonna upset Charles.
Oh no.
There you go.
Lore. Lore inbound. Oh.
Oh. It's time to feed those ducks, Charles.
Oh, free ads on stream because Kitty didn't disable them.
Hey. I can exit it.
I'm sorry, I don't have any money to pay for this pizza, but maybe we can work something out. Well, I normally don't do this, but sure.
So you used to be an actor, you say?
No comment.
Oh, now I'm actually missing my stylus quite a lot.
Well, my drawing tools aren't here.
I'm so bad with the stylus anyway, so it doesn't make sense.
You get just under 3/4 of the time.
Oh, why that color, Chinsia?
Is there like a copy button?
Yeah, no, there's...
For the song?
No. Can I emulate a picture? Twice? Like copy paste type? Is there any of that? This game sucks.
That would be a game changer.
I mean, not legally in this game.
Oh. I can get the...
Perhaps you could mod it. I hear Hydra's pretty good at that.
Not in this game. How do I undo? Oh yeah, that's how. Okay, yeah.
I miss Carew going, yeah.
Right here. And then a little bit of...
Oh, got it.
Art sucks.
How should I make this? I don't like that.
Oh, we get that sax nice. Nice.
Is it growing on you, Charles?
Sax makes everything better. Sax, I said.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He was gonna second. This is a good one. What is that? That's the synth just doesn't. I like it, but the sax is the best part.
Indeed.
I don't know, the fluffs are pretty good, but yeah, the sax is the best part.
My rights.
You got it right. You got it right.
What the fuck? Okay.
What?
Oh, I'm glad you guys must have gotten some horrible things.
Yeah, mine
That's
makes
another
sense,
statement.
oddly. Okay.
Fuck, I hate it. You guys
so
are dicks.
It'll be okay.
Doesn't want to.
I want a pen. Trying to draw accurately is going to give me carpal tunnel.
Mine's so
I hate this. I hate everything about this.
Everything?
Everything.
I'm having a great time.
Time you're spending with friends.
No, not that.
What about the joy you're bringing to Dorkus?
Yeah.
It is a moral good. Actually, Dorkus is going to actually start talking about how Cicero explained.
Cicero was an active proponent of Gartic phone.
Yes, exactly.
I wasn't sure, but I thought so.
Oh no, wrong color. Yeah.
Masterpiece.
Well, you've got 1/3 of the time remaining to make it even greater.
There is no improving on perfection, Gray.
True. I'm glad you learned that. It's a tough lesson that some of us take too long to learn.
No.
Oh, yes. Oh god, this is gonna be perfect.
Bye. I'm out. I'm off.
No.
Ah.
I was off.
Oh. Hmm.
Okay. I think the driver's fixed.
All right. Oh, you were multitasking this whole time, you said. Huh. Uh-oh.
No.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, how do I roll
How do you
this?
draw a picture of this?
Wow, it seems like everybody got the same
Well,
prompt.
Tell me about it.
you've got about 1/5 of the time gone already. So quickly.
That's good math.
Why do you have to be so specific, previous person?
Ooh, how do I... I don't know how to draw whatsoever. Oh, it's terrible.
I'm an impressionist.
Oh my god, this is
Half the time remaining.
Half, you say?
About.
I wish I could.
Oh no, this
Approximately.
can be misinterpreted so easily. Oh no.
Charles, why did
It
you have
will
to
be.
make me recognize how that is not available? If we just
What?
had basic paint.
the copy.
Yeah, like to select.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
Like,
nice.
come on.
Oh, I think you're looking at water. If that's what you're asking about.
Carew, here you go. Look who's here. Uh-oh.
Carew.
Hey, how's it going?
Can you narrate my drawing, please?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh, okay,
no,
okay.
no.
Yeah. Oh, perfect decision there. Yeah.
Thank you.
I see it. Maybe not the best color
Think so?
contrast, though.
Yeah, true.
But is it cheating?
No.
Yeah, I didn't want to get teams.
No.
Okay.
They all look
I like
very
it.
sus-
It's a good
they all look
addition.
very
Good addition.
concerned.
Oh, you could, whoa.
What? Okay.
Hmm. But what are they saying?
I thought I was pretty clear. You didn't understand that?
Rosales, are you gonna... Rosales, will you be able to join the next round? Maybe we can do another round with you here. But there's quite a lot of us for the last one.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow, this is great. I wish I could draw better. This is a great prompt. The drawing person misses the drawings. You just made yourself laugh, Charles. You just
No,
did something.
whoever did this is I didn't realize I was going to be the star of this this round.
Oh, that one.
No, I've seen two.
Oh. Well, yeah. I have not seen two, so fair enough.
Oh, I spoiled one of them.
Maybe. But, you know, the anticipation.
It looks like a fish.
I'm not trying. Oh, 8 of 8. Nice.
It's almost over.
Last one, everybody.
No! Okay,
Half the time.
Oh, wait, yeah, we're not wrapping up a story.
Yet.
Oh, wait. What are you doing? What? Why don't I have that menu on my... Huh.
Wait, were you just cheating? How did you know that somebody else had a different menu that you don't have?
Yeah.
I'm looking at... Oh, I'm done. I'm done. Look.
I'm looking. Yeah,
Hands off the
Sure,
paper. Hands are off the
sure.
paper. I'm looking at... I'm back
No!
in the screen open.
Be swift. Be swift.
I don't have the circle things. What?
You don't have circle things?
No, I don't have any. Like, it looks like MS Paint on the right side there from... Is that something that comes with the stylus?
Okay.
No, I don't have a stylus.
Yeah,
No.
you need the extra.
You should have everything.
You need
That's
extra.
You should have everything.
I'm at a significant disadvantage then.
Huh.
I have colors. I don't have the like the
I would have
circle and the square.
assumed that Max would have had the same. I don't know. That is interesting.
Max says, if you want to do this, get Adobe.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Voiceover.
I'm finished, everybody.
Okay, hold on. We need to be focused.
Thank you.
Although Carew was jamming.
I do have the soundtrack to
I
my
was.
Nightmare Tonight. That's a given.
Carew drives car.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everybody.
Look at
Love
me.
it.
Look at me
I
go.
think this is my fault.
Whoa.
That is
Oh,
incredible.
Darling is amazing.
Yeah. Oh, look at
That's
that.
incredible.
The King Cat
That
mobile.
should be your mobile.
Yeah.
You know, I think that should be your
So
mobile
good.
avatar, Andrew.
Oh, Lucy, that's so
Prince
cute.
Cat on wheels zooming by.
Prince!
Cheeky look.
Oh, that's so cute.
I forgot to put a crown on there. There was supposed to be a crown.
You know what? You were busy on the wheels part.
Oh
Well
yeah,
done.
it took forever to do those wheels.
That's brilliant.
Sammy the snail is reborn with vengeance.
Oh.
Oh, vengeance.
With
Vengeance.
To bring death.
Zombie snail looking to infect.
Oh, I see where this goes. I know where this goes.
Yeah.
Good touch making the shell
Zombie
gray.
Sammy the snail craves brains.
Whoops.
Sammy wields sword against person demanding his brains back.
I meant to say not m.
I like it.
Lucy made him go. Oh, never.
Very
It's actually
good, very
never.
good.
But I read.
Very good, Lucy. I like it. I like it a lot.
Never.
Thinker's lore.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
Hydra.
Oh.
Extensive lore.
Charles learning the history of garlic phone.
Yeah, that's accurate. That is accurate.
That's
Well, I
enough
can see
internet
it
for
now.
today.
Oh God.
Hey, interesting.
Hey,
Charles is an
it
anti-internet
feels like you knew it
Luddite.
was you that was done with the internet.
There, it's an ad.
works.
It's the title screen of the ad.
Ducks in a river.
I got this one. This is the copy paste one.
Yeah, that's
No,
why I was
that's-
exactly. I had the same thought.
Lots of mallards swimming in a pond.
Mallards. Whoa.
Jeez, that is a lot.
Oh, how is that done?
A flock of mallards at the pond.
How does this get to me?
Thank you, darling.
I don't understand.
Nice.
Green ducks at the pond bewitched by green pepper.
Where's did green pepper come from?
Tiny dot above them floating. Look.
It's true. I tried to make that green.
But I think those are still mallards, or close enough. I like it.
The right colors. I used the right colors. Okay, I don't know in the right configuration.
I don't like that you guys guess with thesaurus brain. It's not fun.
Curse
ducks.
you, ducks. Ducks are standing on the water.
Yeah, I didn't notice that detail. That's
It's
pretty
just
awesome.
some spilled water at this point. It's not even fun.
It's a puddle.
Yes.
Cursed.
Very nice. Very nice.
The bumblebee screams.
Oh. Oops.
Sorry about this one.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
Oh no.
My fault.
The Babylon bee has lost its buzzer.
I love it.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Heartbroken bee flies away, but
Aww. Darling
Worker
really
bee
captured
flees,
that.
witnessing the queen being unfaithful.
Oh.
Oh, the lore is being added.
New
Oh,
lore.
no.
New lore.
Wow, there was a lot of lore added
Unfaithful queen bees.
Wow.
Yeah. I want the Lifetime movie about the unfaithful queen bee.
Killer.
Burn.
Okay, wait. You have to.
So if it's a Lifetime, it would take the queen's side, though, right?
Yes.
Thinking about
Yes.
Kite's dream lore.
Ah, there it is.
People had the same idea, I see.
Charles thinking about a bicep.
Boy, am I.
Oh. I'm sorry. I'm really
fantasies
sorry.
of strength.
I totally fucked this one up. I couldn't draw an arm. I can't draw an arm.
Stickman dreams of huge biceps for strength.
You know, explicitly for strength, no other reason.
I love the face. For strength.
Nice.
Oh, that is
Nice.
so good.
Nice
These
addition
are so
there,
good.
Gray.
Darling. Amazing.
That's like looking in a mirror right there. Without a hat, of course.
The garlic phone is smelly.
I forgot I did that.
I love it.
Nice.
Darling.
Little
I'm very
Very
garlic
good.
phone.
Very good, darling.
He just traced it.
I like that one too.
The garlic phone. The one and only legend.
Yay!
Oh, it's a person who's
The bulb of garlic
Turn.
answers the call to play.
answers the call.
That does not look like garlic.
I know. That is the on the previous thinkers, I could draw garlic just fine, and for some reason my hand was like, "Not today, bitch! You cannot."
Instead, we will draw vulva.
Patriotic Poupet giving a speech.
Oh wait. All right, now I know where it's going.
Gray declares a bloodbath with his followers.
Oh. Followers. Oh.
Worshippers.
I think I
Poupet fans love a good bloodbath.
Oh. Mm. Oh.
Grey fans the bloodbath rhetoric.
Nice.
What?
I really like that.
Look at that hair, so good.
I like the gray toupee has the comb over.
Yes. It's awesome. Finch did amazing on that.
Shall we do story quick? And that'll be our last one, just so that Carew can join. Are you going to join?
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah. We're in the private.
It'll just go quicker. Yeah, it's in the private chat. Okay.
No, it's not. Not for me anyway.
Oh, yeah. Not for you,
Repost
so-
invite in the private.
There you go.
Okay.
We'll do story because we've got a lot of people and
What do you do?
then And we have a few minutes. So.
You do.
Okay, let's go. Okay. I think I got one.
Well, get wrecked, loser.
Nice based. Oh wait.
Wait. What is story? What would story music be? Okay, seriously, this.
Ow! That's what I get for being a dick.
Wait. You have to come in with the sax.
Oh.
Nestle water is actually gross. I don't like Nestle water.
Oh, no, bad time.
Oh no! That's horrible!
Nice.
No. Mermaid love.
Oh.
Uh-oh, is this the last one? No, 7 on it.
No, one more after this.
I'm just chaotic. That's just how it is.
Yeah, I failed a couple of these. Sorry, everybody.
I'm not sorry. I have no regrets.
No
Hey, I think
regrets.
this is the last one. I've got regrets.
Oh, come on.
There we go.
Oh no.
Oh no, typo! Oh fuck, too late.
No,
Yeah, that
no.
was a
Too
typo
late.
for sure.
Like, hey, that's basically what my green pepper was a typo. Okay.
The queen bee was unfaithful, but she thought
You
no
are.
one knew.
Oh no.
But it was only a matter of time that they would see the ant.
Oh, it's
Man,
an
would
ant.
not be a very good MCU flick.
Aw.
No.
Aww.
Unless it was made by Dorkus,
True.
which was created using a stylus.
Ah.
However, people thought that it was AI generated.
Oh, true.
I'm
Oh,
They left
oh,
it
okay,
alone,
okay.
ignoring so completely that the problem completely went away and no one learned a thing.
So she got away with it in this story.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
like it.
It was a
Everything worked out.
It was a.
giant phone made of garlic. But the smell. The smell was that of onion, and not of garlic. Which explained the tears in their eyes.
Mm.
The bittersweet realization set in, the world was changed. And never again would love be seen.
Oh no.
It would be felt, dimly, by those who smell garlic. They would be better off for it. The end.
Wow. How did
Holy
you bring that
smoke.
back?
Full circle.
Great job, Carew.
Felt it.
That was perfection.
He sniffed it. He came.
The crime lord Hydra once declared
Hey.
that all games shall depict accurate armed forces weapons. Nay, cried the dissenters, you'll damn us all. But I respect your right to damn us all.
Oh.
To the sad place, I then ate a gummy bear and inhaled helium, just for the shits and giggles. It was just a prank, dudes. Apologies were made. It was all good. FR.
For real, for real.
Oh. Well, if it's for real, for real.
Sunday morning shopping at Costco. What could go wrong?
Oh, I know.
Except everyone had the same idea. Guess we're stuck in line, waiting for food. While in line we started to crave the Sally the snail escargot.
Oh.
Ooh.
No.
The garlicky dish was a favorite of the cannibals, who called humans big garlic and used them to season larger ancient mammoths. They were then consumed by the troglodytes, and that's why they went extinct. Enders.
Enders.
Nice.
Garlic story time started out fun,
Uh-oh.
but devolved into violence.
Oh no.
The man with the eye patch had trouble actually hitting anyone. Depth percept. Ion gone. The target was unreachable. Curse this damn sight. And he ate more carrots. Even thought it was
Oh,
just
no.
a British complimentary tradition, especially when served with tea. But never crumpets. Crumpets are yuck and we do stereotypes. Unless we have a bad day, then anything is allowed.
I love the exclamation points. It's so...
There once was an unfaithful and chilly queen bee.
Yeah,
So
you
the
see,
bee
just
again.
see how it goes.
She needed something to keep her warm. She
Her.
cut open the tauntaun and she crawled inside.
Oh, no.
It's really cozy, she said to herself. Then she suddenly felt a cold chill run up her spine. Lucy? Is that why you? Kite slowly
Why,
turned
why?
around. It was Lucy, or was it?
Oh no! Okay.
No. Indeed it was just Lucy's arm. But how? Where is that?
Oh, cliffhanger! No,
What the fuck,
no.
Christopher Nolan?
What a cliffhanger.
Next time.
Lucy is one-armed, guys.
Is that scene from Jurassic
Get
Park?
wrecked, loser, said Charles. And brandished his Glock in front of his long-lost evil twin, filled with vengeful intent. Venged all over the place. It was a venge bath. No rubber duckies would be harmed, however. Boogie would keep them forever. He kept them. For the next tea-begging stream, where the teens begged electronically on a stream. It W.
Oh no!
Oh,
W.
more hanging cliffs.
And after chewing on some meth,
Hanging on a cliff.
it finally achieved true happiness.
Wow.
Charles' muscles became reality,
I wish.
and he hulked through a nearest wall. Then Charles squealed with delight at the sight of wall destruction. The fence-sitters were displeased, however. Where would they sit if not on the fence? I suggest we gate-sit instead. Build that gate, the crowd cried. The end.
Nice. But rip the
I
meth
like the
gator.
journey.
Never went anywhere.
Yeah, wait a minute.
We're not taking...
It's a red herring.
No, yeah, listen, he achieved true happiness. We have nothing more to say about it.
Yeah, exactly. That's Nirvana, historians.
Then my rage took over. Get wrecked, wall.
Your long lost evil twin, you can walk out, pointing guns at people. Anything you want to tell us, Charles?
I don't know.
So let us just go through the last few things. What's everyone doing? Carew?
I am still working on my video. It's taking me a long time. There's lots of footage to cut through, and most of it is I have to listen through it to mostly throw it away. It's really a real shame.
Yeah.
But editing down a stream where you're cycling over the same arguments over and over again, it's like, yeah, it's frustrating. But
You need a counter for the circles that it does, I suppose. Okay.
Charles.
Charles, hello.
Poor Things.
Hi. What about Poor Things? You tell me.
We're
I'm
talking
waiting on
about
you.
things that
We're
are
waiting
upcoming.
on you.
Oh, okay.
Right?
So,
Gray, you've seen
I will.
it, right?
I will.
Oh yeah.
Have the rest of it seen by whenever we're going to do the stream on that. I was just like,
Well, you need to finish before we
prompting
start,
you to.
no?
Yeah. Yes is yes. But when I'm just prompting you to talk about things upcoming. So what
Yeah.
else besides that?
No, that's pretty prevalent on my channel. Last night we talked about box office stuff, which is all that I'm known for. And yeah, at the very least, Carew, Gray, and I will be doing a rather extensive Poor Things spoiler discussion. And my notes are on my Patreon page. Then now I'm e-begging, so please somebody take over. Yes, Calente. I am now lore. My absolute anger towards the lore makes me lore.
That's awesome. Totally based. Yeah, I have a video that should be coming out sometime in the near future. It's just taking way longer than I anticipated as well. I feel you, Andrew. Yeah, I think it'll be released on Monday, but we'll see. But yeah, that's kind of all I got going on. Other than that, I hope to do some streams soon. But what you got going on, Dorkus?
Well, before that, Gray, are you promoting your Gray Toupee channel?
Not a ton, but yeah, there should be a bunch of reviews out on that one later.
Guys, Gray has two channels, Gray Poupet and Gray Toupee, and
both
he does good streams.
Well, that would be ridiculous.
But over on my channel, truth be told, I'm a bit apprehensive for the next two Mistborn episodes. I've got some potentially spicy takes. I'm not a part of the Mistborn community, so I don't know what the general opinion is of the next 2 chapters. So maybe my takes aren't as spicy as I think they are, but we'll find out. But we're making good progress on the series. We are loving it. And my Cicero videos are coming along. I did record a Claudius speech that I'm thinking about uploading as well. And yeah, that's it.
Sweet.
Excellent.
Hydra, how are you doing in the Discord?
I'm finishing up my my blind playthrough of Elden Ring. I stream it in the Discord every so often. I always schedule events. If anyone's interested, they can hop in. We are very close to the end, extremely close. I think we are in the last area, basically. We cleared out everything else on the map. Final boss time is going to be very close. And after that, we'll be moving on to my, again, first blind playthrough of Hollow Knight as requested. And potentially we're going to do some game development streams spiked between when I will be playing a game. I will be building a game in Unity. So if you're interested in any of those, you can check out the Discord general channel or just the events that are scheduled and hop in, hop out whenever you are interested in any of those.
Yeehaw. And with that as well, just a reminder to subscribe to the Thinkers Gaming channel. We will be launching that very soon. So I'll put that in the description. Thank you everybody for your patience this week. I was very unwell on Tuesday. There was absolutely no way I could have done anything. We'll see what I diagram next Tuesday. Let's see. Stick around. Hey.
All right.
Finch asked for the link to the gaming channel.
Oh, okay. Gosh, I'm gonna put it in the description. But do you have the link on hand quickly?
Do I? I can grab it.
Yeah,
One
just put
moment.
it in the chat. We'll just
do it.
I don't have a wrench. Am I allowed to post links?
Oh, you don't have a wrench? Okay. Anyway, I'll
put it in the private.
The established order breaks down.
I put a link in earlier.
I mean,
Charles might actually. Dorkus, how are you not a wrench? Oh my goodness.
I'm not a wrench.
Because he doesn't comment ever.
Oh yeah, he doesn't.
True.
Do it.
I very rarely comment. So.
Okay, we'll put,
wrench me.
If you
save me a trip to the hardware store. I will settle for a humble spanner.
Hold on. The wrench. We need some sort of epic music.
Boom, boom, boom,
for
boom,
the wrenching.
Boom, boom, boom,
Can you?
No. It's gonna get stuck in my head again. No.
Did I
send a message? It's not coming through.
It's not. Strange. I see it right there. Whatever.
Wait, no, I'm on the wrong.
I'm putting it in the private chat as well, but I did.
Wait.
And this right here, dear viewers, is why we will never ever need a watermark.
What?
This is why we will never need a watermark, because no one will dare, steal our stream.
Yeah, get wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Loser.
Okay, well, I tried.
Lul.
Boom, there you go. There you go.
Have I been wrenched? Did it happen?
You are wrenched.
Did I miss it?
Yes.
Yes, you missed the coronation. Very impressive.
You're now a
There it
standard
is.
moderator for this channel. The creator trusts you to help them build a positive, safe community. Now you can delete inappropriate messages, put a participant in timeout, hide someone from the channel, manage messages held for review.
Okay. Don't turn into a Reddit mod, okay?
Yeah, don't go crazy with power. Okay. So that's it for tonight. Thank you everybody for coming by. We will see you over the weekend. I'll see you in Rosales' thing, Dorkus Nanny States. Thanks everybody for participating in the garlic phone. Have a nice life. Don't cause any bloodbaths.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.